enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh, good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Church is
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Brantley's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here. Shout out to the 12 people that were here from the top of the show. Appreciate y'all. 8 people here now. Glad to have you here. We do have a lot to discuss and a lot to get through for you on this Friday morning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations for you all this morning. Josh Maro is the new CEO of Disney. We're going to discuss it because people are talking about it. My opinion, well, y'all know how I feel about Disney, so we'll get into that. Yes, indeed, we will. Hello, Cammie. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Chris Harrison is coming back. For those of you who don't know who Chris Harrison is, he was the former host of the Bachelor dating show on ABC. Well, he's back. We'll talk about that and the way we're going to jump into that destination. Oh, my Lord Jesus, be here for that. Aura V made some history at the Grammys. Wait till you hear about this young lady's history-making accomplishment. So huge. Then we're going to celebrate Ayanna Sanaa Davis, who is an autism advocate, a Black autism advocate that is doing something really, really big in the world of autism. So we'll celebrate that this morning as well. If you are filing your taxes, which you should be, please stay tuned for that destination because you need to know about it, okay? Also, too, ICE. There's some good news for us who want to have a boo-boo type of energy for ICE this morning. We'll talk about that. And then finally, Reshona Landfair, the young woman who was in the R. Kelly video that everybody knows about. She came out with an interview on CBS Mornings with Rika Duncan. So we're going to watch the whole interview live. So like I said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations to get through. So let's make it do what it do, because higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here and message this person here. I'm always networking, y'all. By the way, I hope that you guys are staying warm. And by the way, I know the Super Bowl is this weekend. If you are looking for wings, Outback Steakhouse, okay? 60 wings for $60. The Kookaburra wing, 60 wings for $60. 60 wings for $60. They got some new flavors: Buffalo Ranch with the Kookaburra seasoning and sweet honey barbecue Kookaburra wings. Okay, listen, just trying to help y'all out. Let's get to it. Oh, you see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. Hello, Malcolm. Welcome in. One thing to know and two things for sure that over here on this channel, a lot happens early.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Right now, this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you're starting it off right. But I'm waiting for you in the daylight. And a lot happens early. Can you feel it? And I say,
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
Early.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is a new morning. Julie Chen, Moonvest, and shout out to the 6 people that were just here. To Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You're absolutely right on this channel right here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Let's get into it. Josh Maro is the new CEO of Disney. Let's watch the interview with Josh. I meant to say David Muir. I was thinking Josh Elliott. He used to work at Good Morning America. Yes, indeed. Let me go to that real quick. Give me a moment. I have it up here. Okay, here we go, everybody. Here is the interview. Here we go.
There is news tonight involving our parent company, Disney. The new CEO has been chosen by the Disney board. Josh D'Amaro will succeed Bob Iger on March 18th, after Bob's nearly 20 years as CEO. Tonight, our interview here with Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro on artificial intelligence, the new Disney theme park, streaming Disney Plus, and about Walt Disney's original dream of bringing joy and connection to American life. Gentlemen, thank you for doing this, for sitting down with me. I guess I have to say congratulations to you both.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah, an incredible tenure and a.
Let me refresh it because it looks great. Hang on, give me a moment.
Look at what I found.
What is it?
It's the sheet we used to manage travel on before Navan.
OMG, we were so.
There is news tonight involving our parent company, Disney. The new CEO has been chosen by the Disney board. Josh D'Amaro will succeed Bob Iger on March 18th after Bob's nearly 20 years as CEO. Tonight, our interview here with Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro on artificial intelligence, the new Disney theme park, streaming Disney Plus, and about Walt Disney's original dream of bringing joy and connection to American life. Gentlemen, thank you for doing this, for sitting down with me. I guess I have to say congratulations to you both.
Now, I just want to say David Muir is a legend in every way, but I gotta pop the helium in the balloon where he said, thanks for sitting down with me. It's an ABC News exclusive, David. Okay, rolling on.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah, an incredible tenure and a new chapter begins. I was thinking about people watching at home and thought I would ask about them first, because I think everybody has, a Disney childhood memory, a favorite Disney movie, a favorite Disney character through the years, a trip to Disney World or Disneyland. But people at home also see how quickly things are changing. Technology, society, people with their phones, the competition for our attention. And I'm curious, Bob, what you think the next CEO has to do and soon to make sure that these childhood Disney memories are still a part of American life for years.
Well, here's the thing, right? And yes, I'm going to pause this so that way this can be for fair use, right? When David is asking this question, I'm like, sir, he's the new CEO is literally right in front of you, and Bob Iger is next to Josh. So based on your history, Bob, of being here for 20 years, what do you see that Josh needs to do?
Years going forward.
Well, I think you touch upon something that is critical in terms of what the next CEO appreciates and what the next CEO is capable of doing. And that is truly, truly appreciating Disney's position in the world and to people. Disney's not just another company. Disney really is a cultural institution that has touched hundreds of millions of people for now over 100 years. And having that appreciation, knowing the place Disney occupies in people's lives, I think is essential to anyone occupying this position in terms of their ability to move the company forward, that careful balance between legacy and innovation.
Is that the challenge, Josh, for you, that balance?
Well, I think I've been at the company now for 27 years. I've had the great benefit and the great honor of working with Bob for all of those years, first from a distance and now much more up close and personal. And I've watched probably the best of the best balance those two things. As Bob talks about being close to the fans and the guests, this is something that's important to me. I spend a lot of time in our beloved parks that hundreds of millions of people enjoy every year. And I see firsthand the importance of the brand, what Disney means to them, what it means to these families. And when you feel that and you understand the legacy of this place and the fact that you need to keep pushing forward and being innovative, I think I'm ready for that challenge, but I've learned from the best of the best.
We sit here in the theater that Walt Disney originally built, and we're all familiar with what Walt did. This new documentary, Handcrafted, really shows just the incredible risk-taking that Walt went through. He leveraged everything. He leveraged his home to build Disneyland in a year. You're sitting next to a man who's led this company for nearly 20 years. With significant risk-taking, billions of dollars in acquisitions for Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilms, 21st Century Fox. Mm-hmm. And as you sit here, the new CEO, I'm curious what your appetite is for risk-taking and how do you meet the moment?
First, you're reminding me that I'm sitting next to Bob Iger, one of the best CEOs of all time. It's a bit intimidating.
We know each other well, Josh.
We do know we know each other well. But Bob's a big risk taker. I'm a big risk taker, and that's been true my whole life with how I've approached growing as an individual to how I've approached the business world. And I think you see that on full display today. I mean, just Several months ago, we announced a massive expansion in a new part of the world in Abu Dhabi. We did that quickly, we did it ambitiously, and we knew there was a new part of the world to serve.
And this is
So let me pause it here. When it comes to the risk taking, right? I appreciate David Mirror asking that question. Now, when I play the Disney World, Disney Abu Dhabi video as a commercial during our show, Josh Tomorrow has said that this is going to be the most advanced park in our portfolio. And a lot of the American fans genuinely believe that it should be Disney World. That should be the creme de la creme, and then everybody else gets everything, which I agree with. Josh Tomorrow was in an interview with CNN, and he said, I wish there was a way we could, take the gaming world and have tactile consequences, or tactile experiences rather, not consequences, but tactile experiences rather in the real world. I'm just like, that's virtual Magic Kingdom. So for me in this interview, it just seems like it's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of, oh, thank you, Bob, for being so amazing. And, Bob was like, well, we have gotten to know each other pretty well. And it's not really anything concrete. Of course, Josh takes over the role in March. But I think where fans are right now mentally, I was watching Ricky, who's a great content creator in the world of theme parks. His mindset has been my mindset for a long time. People want to see actions executed, right? I've been saying that the last Destination D23 was marriage therapy for the Disney fans. Of, okay, listen, I have been a fan for a long time, but my trust in this marriage this fandom marriage is waning here. So where do you need my energy to be? Can you give me some pointers here of what I need to focus in on to care about? And then how are you going to elevate my energy? And I said to Florentine and Phil, I've been saying it on the channel here, that by the next D23 Expo, if there is not updates and completed projects of things that people actually want to see, I do believe the divorcing of Disney fans will start. And it won't be an exodus. It'll be very much over time. It's actually been happening for many years now, but I think the maximum altitude of the fans starting to divorce Disney will happen. So let's keep going.
This is the first new theme park in 15 years for Disney. What's the challenge in building the first in the Middle East and in a place where you don't control everything?
Bob has, for quite a long time, thought about the Middle East as a place that we'd like to grow.
And by the way, y'all, Disney Abu Dhabi is just Disneyland Dubai. Okay, for those of you who don't know about Disneyland Dubai, please go watch Review Time. That's REVIEWTHYME. There is a video, we played it before here, called Disneyland Abu Dhabi. Not Disneyland Abu Dhabi, child. Disneyland Dubai. And it was supposed to be Aladdin themed and this, that, and the third, and the plans leaked, and then Disney had to get rid of it. So with Abu Dhabi, it's in close proximity to Dubai. And if you know Abu Dhabi, for Ferrari World, for Warner Brothers World, Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi has been going in a direction of being created for families and this, that, and the third. So just a little context to the extra connection.
And when he came back, we had an opportunity to sit down and say, let's go for this. Can we find the right partner? Is this the right part of the world? And we quickly determined, yes. We have a great partner that we're working with, and this part of the world represents a population that is young, that is huge. In fact, within a 4-hour flight radius of Abu Dhabi, a third of the world's population is there.
I saw that image of you, Bob, that you posted.
Yes, walking on the property that will one day be Disneyland. When Josh and I first visited, we stood on that same property, and you look at the water and you look at the sand, you look at the place that you're in, and you dream big ambition, and you think, well, we can do this.
Let me ask about another bet. Disney recently made news for this $1 billion bet in OpenAI, artificial intelligence. People at home certainly know about artificial intelligence, the risks, the rewards. It's made some folks, uneasy about where we're headed. It's going to allow, people who are on social media create their own videos with Disney characters from, Star Wars, what have you, from Elsa to Mickey Mouse. I'm just curious, Bob, how you go about stepping in that direction while at the same time protecting the Disney character, protecting the humans behind the character who created it, the actors, while also embracing where we're all headed.
I'm glad you raised that, because one of the reasons Josh was chosen for this position is I've observed him over the years that we've worked together as someone that views technology as an opportunity and not a threat. And I believe that is critical, because when you look at the history of human beings, no generation of human being has ever been able to stand in the way of technological advance. It happens.
The reason this company is so special is because of how creative we are and the human beings that are generating that creativity. In my mind, that never gets replaced. And in fact, this isn't even theory anymore. This is real. Like AI, to Bob's point, is here, and it's something that we're embracing, and you're seeing it supercharge these creatives in amazing ways. And they've embraced artificial intelligence. If you were to walk over to their studios today and see them using AI, harnessing 70 years of history, this is when the Walt Disney Company thrives, when technology intersects with brilliant people and creativity. And we're in that moment right now.
So let me pause it again. When it comes to AI, right, I have often viewed AI as a resource, not the source. I have looked at it as a resource, not the source. I have looked at it as a resource, not the source. When we do BFP Imagineering with myself, Phil, Florentin, and Phil, rather, we utilize AI to have conversations about what's happening in the theme park industry in a very magnified fashion. And what those conversations have done has allowed us to see, could it be possible? And I think if Disney goes about from that fashion of like, okay, let's just say that there's an intellectual property that they want to explore. What ways could Disney and this brand be aligned? And what ways could they not be aligned? Use that, and then, okay, y'all, everybody go off and make ideas about this intellectual property and what rides it can do it. That's a great way to utilize AI. What's not the best thing, right, is to take AI and what AI gives you and make that your creativity and make those your rides and attractions, right? So that's a little bit leery to me. And not to mention too, Disney Plus is getting to short form content. Now, if you guys remember when it came to the TikTok conversation, who was going by TikTok, I said personally that I think Disney should have bought it. And the reason why I say Disney should have bought it was because imagine, if you will, that you could get a Disney TikTok live, a Disney TikTok Studios deal, right? That your content could be on Disney Plus. And we talked about an article from What's on Disney Plus that Disney has talked about how to bring in user-generated content onto the platform. And so it's interesting that they're saying that they're leaning into AI, but humanity will matter. And it's just like, well, if humanity mattered, most of your projects would not have been dead projects. They would have been completed. But let's keep.
Let me ask you about the streaming wars. In the news today of our new CEO here at Disney, Disney also made quite a statement about the importance of streaming and entertainment as this company moves forward, with the elevation of Dana Walden to the first ever president and chief creative officer of Disney. Josh, I'm curious what you see in this new role at Disney, and what are you hoping for from Dana Walden?
Well, I'll start with Dana Walden. She is an incredibly powerful executive. She's got years and years of experience in this space. She's exceptionally creative. and she's a great human being. And I think it's absolutely the right step to continue to push us into this next frontier.
Your contract's up at the end of the year.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people are wondering how quickly do you pass the reins, and what does this look like for you in these next few months?
Well, I'll be stepping down as CEO on March 18th. I'll be an employee of the company and an advisor through the end of this calendar year. And I will be available on call should anyone want any advice from me.
I'll call him.
And he plans to. As we walk the Disney lot, both men aware of the weight of this role. You joke the weight on your shoulders. Is it a little lighter today?
It is. It is. Yeah, you can't just turn the switch off one day on something that you've been so involved with, and it's such an important part of your life. But I'm just looking forward to quieter moments and quieter days and a little bit more, room in my life.
But we know Bob Iger, it's not going to be too quiet, if I had to guess. And for you, conversely, is the weight a little heavier?
Yeah, the responsibility, the sense of responsibility that I have for this role and this company. Of course, I feel the weight on my shoulders. I think I should feel it, but I just feel so fortunate to be in a position to be able to be that next steward for the brand into the next 100 years.
Well, 28 years and many more to come. Congrats, Josh. Well earned. Well deserved.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Bob. CEO Bob Iger and his successor, Josh D'Amaro, today. Our congratulations to Josh D'Amaro, the new CEO, and to Dana Walden, the first president and chief creative officer for the Walt Disney Company. We're in good hands.
Is Zoom indeed. So let's look at the comment section here. It's about time to have a parks executive to become CEO. Happened in succession on HBO. I'm just glad Walden is going to be president and chief creative officer, so D'Amaro has someone who understands the entertainment industry working with him, since he doesn't have experience running studios. He does genuinely rather seem like a good guy, loves entertainment, did some good stuff for workers of the parks, even with the pushback he got from Chapek. This was like interviewing your boss, David, with his boss. I love this choice. Now, can we please remodel Tomorrowland? Drop the AI, please. Please. Rather, it seemed like Josh wanted to answer differently than he did, but Iger was saying there, so I hope he does things differently than Iger did. I will agree with that. I think with this interview, I do think that Josh should have been able to say what was on his mind a lot more freely. And maybe those were his thoughts and his freedom. I do think we should hear from Dana Walden. I feel like a 9-minute piece is really not enough for the fans. I think that, this could have been a 2020, shout out to Barbara Walters, primetime special of the next chapter of Magic, Josh D'Amaro and Bob Iger, The Conversation, Friday, 8/7 Central, only on ABC and streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu. I think that would have been the way to do it, because I do think there needs to be more information about this move and what could be of this. As y'all know, I did a Walt Disney World rebrand master plan that really gave Disney World a whole new life that I didn't even know it could have. The video I always go back to is, the happiest celebration on earth, and just the palpable energy of that. And I think the Disney that people want is this kind of Disney World.
Open your eyes.
Think. One more time. Roll it.
Open your eyes.
Think of the one place you've always wanted to see.
This is where our magic comes from?
They say if you dream a thing more than once,
Please, please, please.
it's sure to come true.
Everything you see exists together in the great circle of life.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun.
I told you she was tricky.
Life is full of possibilities. What do you want to be remembered for?
The world is in our hands, and we gotta do something with it.
I just want to say a word of thanks to all the artists, the workers, and all of you. The young and the young in heart. You helped make this dream come true.
That was from the Super Bowl, right? And when you see that commercial, you really do feel the magnitude, right, of my Lord. There is something special here to celebrate about. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, awesome. Because there was a video I wanted to show you all here. Just have to find it, because when I think of Disney, there is one particular video here. And I will pull it up for you guys now. And when it came to Disneyland Handcrafted, which I watched the documentary, that woman, Miss Iwerks, the daughter of Iwerks, she is gifted, and that honestly, that company needs to be a part of Imagineering, because that Disneyland Handcrafted documentary had more magic than the moves that Disney has been making over the last decade. Let's go ahead and keep it a buck. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Now, this was the Happiest Celebration on Earth video, and I want you to watch this and think about what you feel from this. Here we go.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
This is a global event as Walt Disney World, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, and Disney Cruise Line join Disneyland in celebrating 50 years of magic. It's the happiest celebration on Earth.
Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals and the dreams that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
It has not been a Disney since that. Damn it. It has not been a Disney since that. I have always believed that the two best media campaigns Disney has ever done has been the Happiest Celebration on Earth and the Year of a Million Dreams. That's where we got the Cinderella Castle Suite. That's where we got the Disneyland Dream Suite. That's when we got the Mickey Mouse Penthouse at the Disneyland, resort. And shout out to Yesterworld, who covered the Disneyland resort brilliantly. Like I said, people still give a fuck about Disney. They just don't like this version of Disney. And I think that Disney, and I said this to Phil and Florentine, Disney has tried to become too modernized to still be seen when that's what the fuck they do. That's it. Y'all are known for nostalgia. Y'all are known for caring about children being able to be kids, and you are that space where, in the words of Whitney Houston, our fairy godmother, who should still be here, that the impossible can be possible, that the impossible can be impossible, that the impossible can be possible. That's what you do. And you have gotten so far away from that. Like I said, if I was in Hollywood and Josh D'Amaro asked me to come in and be the creative director of Disney Parks, I'm like, I'm going to need your salary. And I'm going to need to bring in Phil. I'm going to need to bring in Florentine. And we're going to do the biggest resort recon that you've ever done, Sane. And we're also going to have a content creator collective to help these platforms of the cable networks. And you're going to have to save Hulu. I would have to cause hell before there ever is a heaven to breathe in, to move around and to consume the greatness of that heaven. That would be the energy I would be giving to Disney. So with that being said, Disney's new CEO has a mandate: global growth, more magic, less drama. Josh D'Amaro ran the company's crucial experiences business, but his new job will be no walk in the park. Let's see here. For the past several years, Josh D'Amaro has been running the engine of Disney's business, but it's not a movie studio or a slate of streaming channels. It's the company's lucrative and iconic theme parks. Now the longtime Disney executive is set to take the top job. The Walt Disney Company announced Tuesday that D'Amaro will become the CEO on March 18th, succeeding Bob Iger after a carefully choreographed succession process. Was it carefully choreographed? Or was this choreographed succession already happening in the works, and then everybody just picked up on it? Because, really. And I'm saying this with all due respect. Braylon Lee being the CEO versus a Josh D'Amaro being a CEO, they were going to choose a Josh D'Amaro. Because why? For one, I give too much of a fuck about Disney's history. Number two, I actually will not mind doing State of Disney town halls with fans live on ABC. Number three, I'm very hard-headed in being that bull in a china shop to destroy what's not working in order to build a new history of what can work. And Josh D'Amaro doesn't have the capacity, capability, comprehension, the brain cells for my brain to execute that shit. Okay? All right, moving on. I know my sister must be watching like, Braylon, I asked you to go light on Disney. Why you gotta do that to Josh? He's not even in the role yet. There is a persona here, right? And I want Josh to do well. Like I said, I think people just want actions. And they don't just want actions of, hey, we did something. But they want consistency in those actions, and they want, they want consistency in the actions of being about the business of finishing what you start, but also too, making sure that everybody has a place to be a part of Disney. Because if you've been watching the news of Disney even said that they're all about the upper middle class, even rich. There was a survey that I'll never forget. It was disgusting. They said, when is your family member going to pass away? Yeah, that was in a survey. And that turned off a lot of people from Disney, including myself. I still love Disney, but to ask that on a survey with the world we live in right now is disrespectful, unmitigatedly rancid, and it's just toxic behavior. It is. I would say it's thirsty toxicity behavior, if I do say so myself. And not to mention too, Josh, I will say this, brother, you gotta be more transparent, because when you were at the D23 Expo, right, and you guys announced, Monsters Inc. Land, right? You did not announce where it was going to be, but then you went over to Brazil and announced it there, like you thought you could be undercover of like, so we're going to take out Muppets Courtyard. You thought you could say that, and then it would get back to the United States, and then everybody had a connection, rightfully so. So it's not like people don't want to see Disney do well, but at this point, it's like, until I feel reflected, I'm not going to give a fuck. Just keeping it a buck. Let's keep going. He's taking over at a moment when streaming, film, and sports media remains in flux, and big studios and networks are struggling to predict how audiences will be consuming media 3 years from now. Well, there's been a lot of mergers and acquisitions. For those of you who don't know, NBC Universal has spun off their cable networks into a company called Versant. We were ahead of the curve of NBC News and the Today Show. And by the way, send love, light, and prayers to Savannah Guthrie. Apparently, I saw this morning that the suspect in her mom's kidnapping could be her brother-in-law. And praying for the Today Show family. I really don't watch the Today Show like that. It's just because y'all know I play GMA every morning, right? But still, they are the institution that created morning TV. And to not know where your mom is, or your dad, or anybody in your life is terrifying. So light, love, and prayers, and I send all that to the staff and the crew at NBC Universal. In addition to that, with NBC Universal spinning off their cable networks, Warner Bros. Discovery has split the studios and streamers from the cable networks. Now, Netflix has won the Warner Brothers fight. Paramount's still trying to fight, but Paramount, you lost. Just work with what you got. And Bob Iger, the former CEO, was on with David Faber on CNBC and said, while our competition is leaving the cable business, we're staying in the cable business. And then weeks later, there was a exploration of selling off A&E Global Media. So when you are breaking apart media, yeah, of course it's going to be hard to tell how audiences will consume media when you're making it harder for people to consume media. That's a fact. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention there. Okay. The uncertainty makes tomorrow's success with the theme parks all the more valuable to the company. As Disney embarks on its largest global parks expansion ever, we'll believe it when we see it. A roughly $60 billion investment, decade-long investment that includes new cruise ships, domestic expansions, and a planned resort, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. The board has been that the executive leading the company's most reliable business line is the right person to take over the whole show. Mr. Maro is an exceptional leader and the right person to become our next CEO, Iger said in a news release, or a press release that is. He has instinctive appreciation of the Disney brand and a deep understanding of what resonates with our audiences, paired with the rigor and attention to detail required to deliver some of our most ambitious projects. Michael Eisner, who was Disney CEO from 1984 and the Disney decade, along with Frank Wells, and Frank Wells passed away on a skiing accident. It would have been great if he was still here, because I'm sure that Frank Wells would have had great commentary about media, also Disney, but much love to him in heaven and his family and friends who are still here with us. But back to the article here. Michael Eisner, who was Disney CEO from 1984 to 2005, also weighed in on the decision, writing on Twitter, "My advice to Josh is to continue Bob Iger's strategy that creativity will handle profits, always protect the brand, and keep close the words of Walt Disney. We love to entertain kings and queens, but the vital thing to remember is that every guest receives the VIP treatment. Good luck." Very well said. And I think guests are missing that VIP treatment. I mean, you think about the disability pass and what's happening with that and how controversial it is. And, you know, you're being nickel and dime for every single thing. For those of you who don't know, if you are staying at a Disneyland hotel, you don't have the 30-minute entry anymore. You have one lightning lane pass, which I'd rather just take an extra 30 minutes and get in the park early. And y'all know extra magic hours used to be a thing, and that happened during the happiest celebration on Earth. And also Magical Gatherings was a huge thing, but I don't even think Magical Gatherings are around anymore. But extra magic hours was where if you stayed at Disney Hotel on property, you could go into the park an hour early or stay in the park up to an extra 3 hours after everybody left. And then, of course, Disney's Magical Express, where when you got off the plane at the Orlando International Airport, your bags were magically transported. Now, that service is still around, but you have to pay for it now. So when Disney tried to do free water park tickets, but you had to use them like the first day that you got there. Now, I don't know about y'all, but anytime I go on vacation, I'm tired from just traveling there. So what makes you think that I am going to go to the water park on the same day? Unless I'm like, you know what? I really need a break. And that's probably what Disney's hoping for, that I really need a break. And then they go to the water park, right? Shout out to the two people here. Glad to have you here. Let's keep going. Disney's succession planning has been under close scrutiny after its last leadership transition ended when CEO Bob Chapek, hand-selected by Iger in 2020, was ousted after less than 3 years on the job. Like Maro, Chapek previously led the parks business before he was promoted CEO. That history has sharpened the board's focus, this time on ensuring a smoother transition and continuity from Iger's tenure in the top. Disney stock has struggled to gain traction despite Iger's return. Shares are trading around $103, down about 9% over the past year, a sign that the company's turnaround is still very much a work in progress. Maro joined the company in 1998. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let's go back for a minute. So that means that he joined the company in 1998. So he worked with Michael Eisner. Josh Maro worked with Michael Eisner during that time. Starring at the Disneyland Resort. He spent more than 2 decades moving through roles across finance, marketing, strategy, and operations before he went on to lead both the Disneyland Resort and the Walt Disney World Resort. He was named chairman of Disney Experiences in 2020, overseeing the global theme parks and resorts, Disney Cruise Line, consumer products, and Walt Disney Imagineering. Under Maro, Disney Parks division weathered a once-in-a-generation shock, the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced extended closures and capacity limits at parks that brought the business to a near halt. As travel recovered, the division faced inflammatory pressure, consumer backlash over rising prices, and more recently intensifying competition in Orlando, Florida, from Universal's Epic Universe. In its most recent core, revenue for NBC Universal Parks business jumped about 22% from the same period a year ago. NBC News is a part of NBC Universal, which is owned by Comcast. And I want to pause here for a minute because I saw a video this morning from that park place, and they showcased some plans about the villain's land, right? And WDW Pro was ranting, raving, and just mentioned about the land, right? And he was saying that the villain's land only has 2 rides. I'm like, well, let me look up Dark Universe. I'm about to do that right now for y'all, because I don't know if WDW Pro actually keeps up with the industry, but right here, Universal Orlando's Dark Universe features 2 rides. And there was somebody in your comment section, which let me pull up the video and pull up that comment, because it's not that I don't like WDW Pro or anybody in the theme park sector, but what I do not like is you taking an inch and making it a mile just to have content. Okay, that's just classless, tacky, and rude behavior to me. Because here's the thing, right? I don't believe in holding the line for one, but not being factual about everything, right? So let me go to that comment because I thought it was a great comment. Let's see here. Give me a moment. And there are some people in the comment section that are not here for WDW Pro's commentary. Right here. Here it is right here. Shout out to 23 Worlds. These people are talking some rubbish. Please stop watching this propaganda. The parking lots are in the backstage area. To start with. There was no way that area was ever going to be a part of Villains Land. Pretty stupid if you ever thought that. Those two big buildings are pretty big. And don't forget, they are just the show buildings. You don't even know what rides are going there. It's pretty stupid to keep comparing it to Epic. Epic Universe is a park. This is a land, probably bigger than most of the lands at Epic. And how many rides are at each land at Epic? Harry Potter, one ride and a show. That is the Circa Arcanu, the circus, right? And then Harry Potter, Battle of the Ministry. That's that ride. Nintendo, you have Minecart Madness, you have Bowser, and then you have Yoshi's Adventure. You have at Dark Universe 2 rides, right? You have Monsters Unchained, and then you have the Curse of the Werewolf. Then with Dragons, How to Train Your Dragon, you have Fire Drill, you have the Hiccups Wing Gliders, which is the family coaster, and then you have that one that you can kind of fly like a dragon, but it's really odd. Celestial Park, you have Constellation Carousel, and then you have Stardust Racers, right? So those are all the rides, and I'm going to give a like to 23 Worlds because I agree. Like, I think people have to let the plans unfold, right? And of course, show buildings are going to take up space. Like, if you really think that they're going to take the concept art, which to give DW Pro just as much credit, when Epic Universe from Universal made do what it do, the concept art was real. They took the concept art and made a reality, right? But then again, shout out to Andrew. I can't remember his last name, but Andrew talked about people like WDW Pro talking about this propaganda being a hater, just rabid, rancid, delusional, decrepit, and everything else in his commentary of, just not trying to see anything positive. Can't remember the guy's name, but it's Andrew something. And people have talked about how Epic Universe has capacity issues. So it's like, okay, if Epic Universe has capacity issues and then you're upset with Villains Land, then what it is, both parks are at fault. But don't just start shitting on Disney just to have content where it's like Dark Universe has 2 rides. Just like Villains Land at Disney World's going to have 2 rides. So just wanted to bring that up because I'm just like, I'm not doing this mentally with y'all. I'm just not doing it. So despite those headwinds, Disney's parks business rebounded sharply starting in 2021 and 2022 as resorts reopened and travel demand returned. In the 3 months that ended December 27th, Disney's parks division posted record quarterly revenue for full year 2025. Disney Parks and Experiences segment generated $36 billion in revenue. Yeah, you heard me correctly, $36 billion in revenue, cementing its role as the company's primary profit driver. While management has flagged international visitation headwinds at domestic parks weighing on near-term results, Disney reiterated its full-year guidance for a high single-digit operating income growth Monday, pointing to Strong forward-looking indicators such as hotel bookings weighed toward the back half of the year. Analysts have largely viewed those pressures as manageable. Evercore ISI analyst Maro, sorry if I butchered that. I try my best, y'all. Described the international headwinds as not a new concern, and a note to clients Tuesday, adding Disney has so far been able to navigate around them. Under the new leadership structure, Maro will be paired with Dana Walden, a co-chair of Disney Entertainment and a veteran entertainment executive who was named president and chief creative officer. Together, the duo represent a balance Disney has been working toward since Iger's surprise return in 2022, pairing creative cohesion with a leader who has consistently delivered financial performance through volatile cycles. Maro's ascension from the experiences segment somewhat mirrors the choice former CEO Bob Chapek to succeed Iger back in 2020, wrote Doug DeCruz, media analyst at TD Cowen. However, while Maro lacks experience on the creative side of the business, Walden's elevation addresses any content leadership gap, pairing Maro's operational strengths with proven creative expertise. However, it will be critical for the two executives to be able to forge a strong partnership, Cruz said. But as with Disney's last succession, how that translates beyond the parks within a company still in the midst of a transition will become clearer only with time. Now, I do want to bring up something real quick. There was a guy named Eric from the Howard Stern Show. I know what y'all thinking. How in the hell does this relate? Eric gave a suggestion to who was it? The CEO of ABC Unscripted. CEO of ABC Unscripted. So Rob Mills, right? So Rob Mills had a connection to, the Howard Stern Show. And one of the shows that Eric pitched was a competition to find the next voice actor for a Pixar movie. I'm going to take Eric's idea and raise you this. There are many fans that love Disney that I believe maybe y'all can do Imagineer your Idol, right? And there's competitions and one person gets to be a Walt Disney Imagineer. Or you can do the Imagineering squad. 10 men, 10 women. You can have content creators in there. You can have actual engineers. You can have creatives. And the 5 best men, the 5 best women become a part of Walt Disney Imagineering, right? And they get a 3-year deal to create new rides and attractions. I think that fans really want to be heard. I think that platform will be good. The only problem is Disney likes control. In order for this to work, you have to give up control. So just wanted to bring that to your attention there. All right. So this pivot that we're about to take is very difficult. Okay. So I'm sorry in advance. I really am sincerely sorry. Let me take a swig. Because I saw this, and I was just like, oh my God, okay. Oh, okay, everybody brace yourself. Okay, here we go. Now, this is going to lead us into Chris Harrison because this destination goes to show us that words have power. Here we go, okay? From the Jasmine brand, Dr. Kevin James, Morris Brown's recently fired and rehired president. Child, I know we're going from Disney to this. I know. But this is our show. We talk about anything and everything that's happening in the culture. Dr. Kevin James, Morris Brown's recently fired and rehired president, allegedly tells potential hire, "If I give you the dick, you might not be able to handle it in the video." And I'm just like, why in the hell do we have people like this? Like, all you had to do was run a college. Jesus Christ. Where's that white kid that says Jesus Christ? Give me a moment. Because oh my God, hang on. Because that's what I need right now. I need that kid. Just get the
Jeez! Jesus Christ.
I can't do it. I can't
Jesus
do it. I
Christ.
can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. One more time. Just one more time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jesus Christ indeed, good sir. Let's get into this. This came out 17 hours ago, right? You never know when someone might be screen recording a conversation. Footage that appears to be a leaked video involving Dr. Kevin James has been circulating online. In the clip, James, the president of Atlanta-based historically black college and university, or HBCU, Morris Brown College, is allegedly seen making sexual remarks to a woman he's considering hiring. Even though I may want to, I got to look at the bigger picture. James says at the start of the recording, he goes on to suggest bringing the woman to Atlanta, mentoring her, and possibly giving her a job. So here's the thing, right? This is like quid pro quo energy. Like, listen, I'm a mentor you. If you do this, that, the third, I use my power to give you a job. And you cannot do that because that is wrong. Okay, now we used to have affirmative action until everybody else fucked up on November 4th, and we have the hell that we're in as a country. So it's employee boss dynamic, right? And that has a lot of implications, okay? Even mentioning the idea of making her his executive assistant. The video ends, right? And I'm only laughing at this because it's just like, why would you say this shit in a professional setting? Bruh, you only have one job. Just run the damn college. I'm laughing at the obscenity of this because it's just like, what the fuck? Okay. You know, if I give you the dig, then you might not be able to handle it. The date on the footage suggests it was around, the date on the footage suggests it was initially taken around the time James first started working at Morris Brown. On January 12th, James announced on Facebook that the Morris Brown College Board of Trustees had terminated him after 7 years, stating that he was removed without specific cause or substantive explanation. The college later released a statement thanking James for his service, and naming trustee Nazinga Shaw as interim president. However, before the month ended, Morris Brown announced that James had been reinstated as president. This happened to me once. I left with 10K, never worked again. Y'all don't want blessings for real. 10K is nothing, but I guess when you come from nothing, 10K seems like a million. Carry on, clown. Oh, damn! Wow! Wow. The lack of self-control be the death of them. Damn, now they got to fire him again. I promise you guys we can handle it. Please stop embarrassing yourselves. What? Yes. Greatest boss in the world, Michael Scott. What? Candy Burris. Titus is crazy. Y'all could have held this up until the end of the month. Upwards, man. Y'all could have held this until the month was up, man. SMH. I need the rest of the conversation. I trust nobody but the Lord. I love the Lord. Shout out to Whitney Houston. So, with that being said, let's get to our destination. I had to use that destination to get to this because words have power. Here we go from the Daily Beast Obsessed page. Disgraced Bachelor host launching MAGA-coded dating show. Here we go, everybody. 5 years after his unceremonious departure from reality TV, The Bachelor former host is ready to launch the next great MAGA-coded dating show. It's time for people to find love again. 19-year Bachelor host Chris Harrison, 54, captioned an Instagram post today promote his new show, Traditional Love. No network or streamer has been announced for the nascent project. Give it a moment, y'all. Because it's frozen up in my head. Okay, there we go. Okay. So here is the post right here. Now casting Dating for Traditional Marriage. Chris Harrison is back hosting a brand new dating series, a prominent streaming service. So we gotta think there is Netflix. There would have been Hulu, but Bob Iger wants to fold Hulu into Disney Plus and screw up the Disney damn bundle because Disney doesn't know how to do adult content. And there's 100 million downloads on Hulu from the Google Play Store. So we can't really think about Hulu. Josh, one move I would give you is save Hulu. You need a platform for adult content. Fix what Bob Iger has done. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. Just keep it up. But anyway, you got Netflix, you have Hulu, formerly Hulu, but you still have Hulu as of now. You have HBO Max, you have Paramount Plus, you have, All Black, you have All Reality, you have BET Plus, you have, Discovery Plus, HBO Max, I already said that. So you have some streamers, but we don't know which one yet. A prominent streaming service is casting single men and women 21 plus who want a traditional marriage minded partnership built on commitment and shared values. We're looking for singles who believe in clear roles and long-term commitment and building a life together and who are dating with real intention. Okay, so let's type in traditional love.casting crane.com. Hopefully I spelled that right. Okay, I know. And I'm sure that he will talk about it on his podcast with Lauren Zima. For those of you who don't know who Lauren Zima used to be on Entertainment Tonight, and she had a great show called Roses and Rose. It was a great time. I loved it. I wish it never ended, but we get into it with Chris Harrison. Chris Harrison said something that, made people want to move away from him. Okay, so let me go to his Instagram. And then I'll pull up the website so y'all can see it. Really, bro, you got this. What you got this link, but you don't have the actual child. Okay, no, I'm not looking for that. Okay, TRADITIONAL. Traditional love.casting CRANE.com. Okay. Sorry y'all taking me so long. Okay, so here it is here. So this is the website right here. So first name, last name, date of birth, phone number, email, city, state, height, if you're currently working, what's your occupation? Are you single? Have you ever auditioned for or been a performer, participant, or contestant on a reality or other TV show or in a film? Please list all your social media handles. What are you looking for in someone you date? What does traditional marriage mean to you? What would your ideal marriage look like? For example, provider, husband, stay-at-home wife, managing the home, finances, child care, faith-based leadership in the home. Cool. Okay. Any deal breakers? Do you have children? If so, please list their names and ages. Okay. First of all, I'm just going to break this down. Nobody should be given the names and ages of their children in an application for a dating show. What the hell are we doing here? You have to earn the right to know that information. Do you want children? So how many? What do you think modern dating gets wrong? How many serious relationships have you been in, and how long did each one last? What led to the end of those relationships? Please describe your ideal partner in terms of both physical attraction and personality. When you first meet someone, what matters to you more, physical attraction or personality? Do you have any tattoos? If so, what are they? Where are they located on your body? What accomplishment are you most proud of? What is something people are most surprised to learn about you? Is there anything else you'd like to share about yourself? Please upload a clear photo of your headshot, or clear photo of your face. Please upload a full body photo, and then, of course, a video here. Okay, and then, of course, you read all this. Okay, read all of it. I'm not gonna read it because I'm not. I'm not going on here on this show, but I'm just reading it for y'all. And then, of course, you sign your name, like your full name, and then date. So basically, 26 questions on this. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. The post states that Harrison is seeking contestants who believe in clear roles and long-term commitment and building a life together, who are dating with real attention. The new show will be Harrison's first TV host gig since he was fired from The Bachelor in 2021 following an on-air racist incident. During an interview with The Bachelor's first ever black contestant, The Bachelorette's first ever black bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay, Harrison urged her to forgive a Bachelor contestant accused of racism. While vying for the affection of The Bachelor's first black bachelor, contestant Rachel Connell came under fire when fans uncovered photos of her at a plantation-themed party. Antebellum. If you know about Antebellum, that is slavery times. And I think there was a movie with Janelle Monáe where she was somehow transported, but really she was still in the same place. But it was this whole movie about the old times, right? As well as liking her racist social media posts. Harrison asked Lindsay and the woke police to extend Connell a little grace, a little understanding, a little compassion. The host then said the party, which took place in 2018, was 5 years ago, making it no longer an issue. So was it a good look in 2018 or this, that, and the third? And Rachel Lindsay said, well, if I was there, what do you think I would be, right? Well, the picture was from 2018 at Old South Antebellum party, so I think that's not a good look, Lindsay Foy replied. Harrison was indefinitely suspended following the incident and was later officially terminated by ABC, perhaps to two pieces of leverage the former host held. The show gave him an 8-figure golden parachute for a quiet departure. In 2024, Harrison signed a deal with Dr. Phil's network, Mare Street Media, to host a new show. Within the year, the network filed for bankruptcy, leaving Harrison floating. And Dr. Phil has tried to make a new network happen, but that's also tied up. The new show, which Harrison is backed by a prominent streaming service, doubles down on the host of accused conservatism in its casting questionnaire. The questionnaire that I just showed y'all, the show asks would-be contestants what their ideal marriage would look like, including a traditional conservative example, provider, husband, a stay-at-home wife, the wife managing home finances, childcare, faith-based leadership in the home. It's 2026. I don't know if Chris Harrison is, with us at all in the world. I'm not even going to get into Lauren Zima because Lauren Zima has nothing to do with this. It's about, this is about Chris Harrison, right? And it's like, bruh, there are women who are out making more money than men nowadays. Right? There are men who are stay-at-home dads, and shout out to all the dads. Okay, whether you are a biological dad, whether you are a stepdad, or you are a father figure, because it does take, everybody, right, to make a community have unity, right? And so I was wondering if he was going to talk about this on his podcast. But as I am on his IG right now, this is the last post right here, November 21st, 2024, right? So let me see when the last episode was. Because I remember when he was promoting this heavy, and then I heard nothing else about it. I tuned in for maybe the first episode, just to kind of see what it was about. But besides that, not really anything else. Okay, wait a minute. Hang on, give me a moment. Okay, so he's still doing the, wait a minute, hang on. Okay, somebody explained this to me. This is a little much. Give me one moment. So right here, this is the most dramatic podcast ever, but you have Morning Run with Amy and TJ. So is he not doing the podcast anymore? Chris Harrison and Lauren Zima, are they not doing the podcast anymore? So you mean tell me that Chris Harrison does not have a platform to promote this show on, and we don't know the streaming service, but this is actually happening? Okay. All right. Ciao. Questionnaire also asks contestants what they believe Mara and Dan gets wrong, what traditional marriage means to them. In the Instagram posts comments, people sounded off on Harrison's not so subtle messaging. I'm sorry, this is given MAGA. One account replied. One reply suggested titling the show MAGA Bachelor. I have a feeling that ABC would be giving Chris Harrison a lawsuit that his golden parachute would not be able to pay off. Okay? If he still has the parachute. While none suggested the right reasons. The show is backed by Emmy-nominated Golden Bachelor casting director Lindsay Lyles. It has not yet been announced when or where the show will air. Okay, so let's see here. Lindsay Lyles. Okay, so here is Lindsay Lyles here. So she has her own casting agency, apparently here. Lindsay Lyles Casting. You know, I don't think this show's gonna work. I just don't, because personally, the reason why I've never gone on The Bachelor is because, for one, have you seen how many black people have been the Black Bachelor or the Black Bachelorette? Not many. Number two, black people don't really make it through the Bachelor universe unless you are like a Rachel Lindsay, you know what I mean, or a Charity. You know, you really gotta make it through to break through that glass ceiling. Number two, I like thick women. And number three, I like people who look like me, but also like people who may not look like me and who may move differently than me, right? Because maybe I want a ginger BBW. Maybe there might be a snow bunny. I want diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. I don't want to have to travel all around the world to know if I am in love or not. Can we eat catfish and be cool? So me on this show is never going to work, just like everything I would like to do on The Bachelor is never going to happen. I can't. You know what? Let me type in Dave Neal, because I need to see what Dave Neal is saying on this real quick. Give me a moment. By the way, if you don't know who Dave Neal is, he is a content creator in the world of the Bachelor franchise, and really a great guy. Really a great guy. He played my voicemail on his show one time. And I was so surprised. I'm like, wait, what? Are you serious? Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. He's changed. Hang on. Let me type in Chris Harrison here and see. Chris Okay, so here's Dave Neal here. So he has completely shifted his content because 3 years ago was the last time he was doing Bachelor content for a very long time. So I'm not really seeing anything new. Hopefully Bachelor fan take will say something. Of course, Emmanuel Acho did the after the final rose for Kevin James season. Let me type in Chris Harrison. On YouTube and see if anybody is saying anything about Lord Jesus. I want to play it so bad, but I don't know if I'll get copyrighted or not. Oh God. Oh, okay. Give me a moment, y'all. Just give me a moment. Because Rachel, Lindsay, and them have already talked about it. Oh. Give me a moment. Okay. I found the section now. I'm going to play this and hopefully we won't get copyrighted, okay? Good Lord Jesus. Because I do want to hear what they have to say. So here we go with Chris Harrison. Here we go. Ciao.
Left or roll, way to the left. But there's still, I think, supposed to be a coalition of us all. I don't know if that's true anymore.
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Why don't you get on? Hey, man. Why don't you get on this new shit? Why don't you get on this? You know what I'm saying? This new shit.
Why are you winking at me? What
I'm just saying, why
shit?
don't you get on some of this new shit? Why don't you get someone else, pinko communist Maoist bullshit? Come on, man. Come over here. Come on, man.
What do you think I am?
You on the road. You on the road. Comrade Rachel.
I'm not.
Okay.
What is this? Donnie? What? Is Soup Kid?
The comeback.
I knew you.
We got Soupy in the show? What the fuck?
Are you thrilled?
What?
Now, here's Rachel's face right here, right? Here's Rachel's face. Feeling just all kinds of things, right? I mean, think about it. She is the first Black bachelorette hearing the person that said what they said, defending Rachel Kirkconnell, who came across as a racist for going to an antebellum party, saying give love, grace, and space to her, but don't recognize this Black woman who broke history on your platform, and he's making a comeback. So I can imagine how many emotions are running through Rachel's head right now. Here we go.
Are you thrilled?
Whoa.
Tell us what's going on, Donnie.
Yeah. All right. Former Bachelor host Chris Harrison is making the TV comeback. He posted a casting call on his Instagram with the caption said, "It's time to help people find love again. Now casting."
Shit.
Now the casting call has caused some controversy. Let me read a little bit of what it said. It says a prominent streaming service is casting single men and women 21 and up who want a traditional marriage.
Okay.
A traditional marriage-minded partnership built on commitment and shared values. We're looking for singles who believe in clear roles, long-term commitment, and building a life together, and who are dating with real intention.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
You see Rachel's face like, motherfucker, I'm only talking about this because it's a topic. Otherwise, I could give two damn fucks or shits about it. Oh my God. Here to Rachel Lindsay, child. And what streaming service is going to allow this? Hang on. Oh, wait a minute. You know what, y'all? Give me a moment. I think I might know. Give me a moment. Because I think I might know what prominent streaming service it might be. Give me a moment. Oh, my God. I don't know why I didn't think of this. This is diabolical. Oh my God. Okay. Let me go back here. This is ridiculous. Okay. Oh, come on, damn it. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all this here, okay? I'm going to show y'all this. So this is Fox Nation, right? And so you have, different, documentaries. You have The Saints. You have American Presidents. You have Jillian Michaels, America's Food Crisis. You have 73 Seconds to Disaster. You got Primetime Recap, What Made America Great. You have a quiz show. You have 10-Minute Justice. That's some of their unscripted stuff, right? The ACM Awards, Red Carpet Access, the Catholic Prayer Breakfast. Now, I'm just showing you the content that is on here. Now, 50, I don't know why you here with them, but I know you got, Fox deal with them. So I'm going to give you love, grace, and space. But you see what they have, right? So, collections. I'm trying to find where their unscripted content is. Now, Outkick is a platform where there is unscripted content. Okay, so here it is. This is what I'm looking for right here. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Let's go to reality. Okay, so you got the Real Hatfield and McCoys, right? You got God, Family, Football. You have Last Cowboy Standing. You have Fox Nation Fan Hub. You have Life, Liberty, Live-In. You have American Dream Home. 911 on the Scene. When Seconds Counts. Greg Phil, What I Miss, American Gold. The Legend of Bear Gulch. How America Works with Mike Rowe. Mansion Global. Fox News. Meet the Dynasty. RAF 05 at home with Paula Dean. Road to IndyCar Championships. Becoming Top Gun. Cooking in a Hurry with Steve Ducey. A Duck Family Christmas. Cops. Duck Family Treasure, The Family's a Treasure, Alfreda King's House, which, if you know about Alfreda King, the King family has iced her out disrespectfully, as they deserve. Cooking with Steve Ducey, $1 Billion Idea, TP Combat, ER Nurses, The Fixer, A's Quiz Show with Chuck Woolery, USA Inc., American Vampires, Broadmoor Christmas, Veteran Inc., Homefront for the Holidays, Road to Talladega, Behind the Slap with Dana White. Why does that sound like a Will Smith podcast waiting to happen? Secrets of the Asylum, America's Top Ranger 2022. So would it be fair to say that this dating show could be coming to Fox Nation, which it wouldn't be that crazy to think? Let's go back to Rachel Lindsay and for their response to this shit.
Your guess is as good as mine. But I knew you'd be happy that he'd be out the kitchen, allegedly.
Yeah.
It's tied to a big streaming service. We don't
What's
really
the streaming
know.
service?
They haven't said.
They haven't told us.
We don't know. That's in the casting call.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
This is Fox Nation.
Bro! I love you. You love me. We one big happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Now, listen, I said this before going back to the clip. Okay, so let's continue. Oh my God.
Well,
this is Fox Nation for sure.
Well, people, of course, this pops up and people immediately are like, or I'm tagged and stuff, right? Because it's like, oh, the last time he was on TV, this controversy, blah, blah, blah. Your former employer was like,
who?
TMZ was
Oh,
like,
what'd they
oh,
say?
do you have a comment? Do you want to talk
Did
about
you give him
this?
a comment?
The comment is listen to the podcast.
Okay.
Because people are like, well, what do you think? What do you think about it? I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him.
Happy for the
I am happy.
Now, Rachel, Rachel, my darling, my darling, my darling. Let's not pretend here, okay? It's okay to say I really don't give a damn fuck or shit about this. It's okay to say that because you're doing what needs to be done for the for the optics of the situation. But child, let's keep going.
I'm happy. You know why? Because if Toys R Us is the place where a kid can be a kid, then this is the show where a Chris Harrison can be a Chris Harrison.
Wow. Why we got disrespect Toys R Us like that though? Like Toys R Us is beloved. We want to make a comeback. Why do that, Rachel? But I get what she means though. If there's a sandbox for everybody else, why can't there be a sandbox for Chris Harrison? But good damn, Toys R Us though.
Oh, you're not happy for that nigga.
Now we don't know much about this show other than what Donnie just said, right? Shows traditional love.
Okay.
Right? Clear roles. Is that what you said, Donnie? We believe in clear roles. So a lot of people, I mean, that's open to interpretation, but a lot of people are coupling the traditional love part and the clear roles part and saying,
I can't wait to see their faces when we come out.
This seems to be coded maybe for something else. Now, in the casting questionnaire, apparently for this show, the show asks the would-be contestants what their ideal marriage would look like, including a traditional conservative example. That's not the quote, but this is. A provider husband and a stay-at-home wife, the wife managing the home, finances, childcare, faith-based leadership in the home. So this is why people think it feels a little coded. And I guess the questionnaire then asks the contestants what they believe modern dating gets wrong and what a traditional marriage, quote, means to them. Right? So like if there's an assumption, I think we can gather, I mean, you already said Fox Nation. Yep. It's like we can gather that this is more of a conservative type dating show.
And it is. It is. I can't even imagine the president. Look, I believe in love. I really do. Love is a beautiful thing. My wife Melania doesn't hold my hand nor swallow me down, but we still together because she wants me for my money. So if that's traditional, go forth and prosper. Like I can really see the president asking Chris Harrison, can I come on as the advisor for the contestants? Like the president still wants to be known as a celebrity. He can't stand the media, but yet will give the media interviews. Like he's not going to the Super Bowl, for those of you who don't know, but yet he's sitting there with Tom Lamas from NBC News, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Let's roll on.
And there's, people are split. Like some people are, like, again, are saying, oh, this seems like, like a MAGA, coded type traditional values of what a woman maybe used to be or they wanted women to be back in the day. They, people are saying that this feels like the patriarchy, all of that. And there's other people who are very excited, right? Like me. I'm happy, that he's doing a show again. It's about love and the type of love he seems to want to showcase. But for all the people who are excited and are like, this is amazing. He's coming back to TV and he's bringing traditional love back like The Bachelor used to be, right? Like The Bachelor used to be traditional love. It was traditional love when he was there and he lost his way. You guys have to stop lying to yourselves. There was nothing traditional in the sense that we think this show is about the way The Bachelor was.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, it's why there was a fictional show called Unreal that was created by one of the producers of The Bachelor, because they say those first 8-10 seasons were the wild, wild west, what was going on there. Second, finding love on reality TV. Nothing traditional about that. So all of you, I mean, for all of you,
he's right. I mean, traditionally, you do not have to compete with 29 other people for a chance to go and have a relationship. Usually there are no cameras, there are no expensive dates, there are no fly to, exotic destinations, there are no eliminations. There's nothing traditional about finding love on television. There's nothing traditional about that. I mean, hell, Love is Blind, for example, is not traditional. Dating shows, right? Competition shows, their job rather is to sell you a fantasy and be consistent enough and tenacious enough that you will believe that can be a reality for you. That doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. Okay? All right, moving on.
We're like, oh, this is a chance for nothing traditional about finding your love on reality television. And Chris Harrison, when he did The Bachelor for almost 20 years, he was in the trenches with them, right? He wasn't above any of it. He was complicit, which is why he had leverage on the show, and he was able to use that leverage to get an 8-figure payout. Yeah. The show back then was about business. It was about money. It was about the bottom dollar, and everybody about that show and who was a part of putting it on was about doing what they needed to do to make the show a success, to make it a successful business, to generate a lot of money and a lot of attention surrounding the show. I will say, when people are like, Chris Harrison's so traditional, and I'm telling you how he wasn't above all of that. He was a part of a system. The only thing traditional about that show before was that it kept with a certain pattern, and that was about white people finding love until I came on the show and quote unquote mess things up.
Who said that?
Well, the Bachelor clan, as you name them, I changed things. I started talking about things that they didn't want to talk about. I messed up the show in a way because I said, well, why can't, love can look all kinds of ways, right? But for 15 years, that show had showed you have to look like this and kind of be a part of this type of culture to be able to find love. That's what makes you desirable. That's what the Bachelor taught until I came about of it. And even, I don't know if we talked about this, but even Chris Harrison, right? So this goes along with the traditional love thing. In an interview, he was asked before about why there hadn't been a diverse lead. And this was prior to me even joining the show. He said, television is a business. And he goes on to say, what happens when our show is off in 6 months and you're not watching it anymore? Advertisers have to buy this show. Advertisers have to buy the next season of the show. I need millions of people to watch this show. So I need to put on people that others want to watch.
Now, there is a thing as creativity and commerce, right? Without money, you cannot be creative, right? So commerce always wins. However, you do need a creative platform to be able to have multiple streams of income. And so when you are going along to getting along of what works, but you're not being relevant to the audience that also is evolving, then you miss the plot. That's what Rachel was saying. Moving on.
That was his response into why there hasn't been any diversity in regards to the leads. And then I came on the show, right? And then a couple of years later.
How'd the show do ratings-wise when you came on?
The show goes down in ratings every year.
Okay.
Less people are just watching it on TV.
Was he lying about what he said? Do you feel like what he said was unfair?
Well, I think it's unfair that you weren't even giving people a chance for it to work.
Right.
Because I had higher ratings than my white counterpart after me. You know what I mean? White. So it's like you weren't even giving a chance for love to look different. You just assume because this is what
America doesn't want to see it.
That America doesn't want to see it. He said, people don't want to watch that. I want to put on a show that people want to watch. And that show does not include diverse leads. He literally said that. Then I come on the show and there was Matt James after me. And then that's the season where it all went down for him, right? So a couple of years later, a couple of years of diversity. And then what does he say to me on the show? He basically defends a contestant for being in a photo, and an antebellum photo, says what's wrong with it, and actually says to me, who the hell are you? Who the hell is Rachel Lindsay? Like, why are you having a conversation about this? Why aren't you showing her grace? Why is this even an issue?
And the problem with Chris Harrison doing that of who the hell are you? Motherfucker, she's the first black bachelorette. And she opened up a door for other people to be able to get in the door so the show can have some fucking relevance. Number two, she was a correspondent on Extra. Regular, schmegular correspondent. And number three, everybody else was talking about it. So yes, she's got the right to have a fucking opinion. Who the hell are you? She's a black woman. That's her. That's her base for her having an opinion. So you thought only white people could talk about the fact that you stood up for racism? No, everybody got the right to talk about you. You were a public figure. Rolling on.
So many people were shocked, and then what happened, and that was the end of it. Listen, Chris Harrison has told you before what traditional love is. He said it in an interview before I was on the show. He talked to me about it after, about like where his values, ideals, all of that stands. So for him to be a part of this show, this is why I say I'm happy for him. That is Chris Harrison. There is a through line with who he is and what he's about. And I'm glad he found his way back to create the show that he wants and the version that he wants, which is traditional love. So good for him. I'm happy.
Well said. Soupy. It's been a while, man. It's good. This reminds me of the old days.
The good old days.
The good old days.
I think he'd say the same thing.
Of having a soup kitchen conversation where we used to talk about him all the time back in the days. It's funny that we say that he got sent to the soup kitchen when he is rich as fuck. Okay?
8-figure deal.
8-figure deal. Soupy, get your bread. This is what I will say. It's maybe controversial. I don't know that he was wrong about what he was saying at the time that he was asked about the diverse lead thing. And let me tell you why.
He might not be wrong as a business thing. It doesn't mean that maybe it was right.
It certainly was.
That part. Two things can be true. I mean, entertainment is a business, right? Even though the show Brainley's Virtual Tour Live and the brand of Brainley's Virtual Tour is the creative side, there is a business to this. There are ads, there are brand deals, there are partnerships, there could be live events. There's many different parts of this business, the maintenance and the overhead of having your own platform. So there is a business to it. But in the same token that I recognize the business side of Brainley's Virtual Tour does not negate the fact that I'm not fully black. Just keep it in a buck. Let's keep going.
Wasn't right.
But
when we first would talk about that, I'll be like, God damn, the cojones on him. Or
you have a new term?
You guys know. Gonads works. Everybody has gonads.
Okay.
That's what they said. Gonads is a unifying term. The gonads on him.
Okay.
The gonads on him to do that. After knowing the audience a little bit more, seeing the way you've been treated, seeing the way you sometimes spar with people who are in your comments that might have come to know you from The Bachelor, I think he knew his audience.
No, he did know his audience.
I think that they cultivated that audience.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I think, to me, The Bachelor got to a point where they knew that they couldn't put somebody black on the show, or they didn't think that they could because of what they had leaned into and how they had positioned the show years prior.
Correct.
And by the time they actually got some diversity on the show, it ended up becoming a four-alarm fire because what they had cultivated was running
before Monday.
Correct. So what they cultivated ran against the society that was evolving fully agreed with that, right? And the blessing of Brainley's virtual tour, right, is we talk about anything and everything else of the culture and then some. But we're also Black. So being able to have a Black perspective on the world that we have, and don't worry, we're going to get to all of our other destinations. But the thing that I love about this platform is we're able to go there. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Buzzcat. Me and him work together at Black Squirrel Radio. He, watches the show. So shout out to Buzzcat. And I said to him, this reminds me of Dr. B's Crib Almost Live, but I'm able to go deeper with the show. Because Dr. B's Crib Almost Live was a 2-hour block where I had to come up with Confession Check-In and the Black Alicious Bulletin and everything else. I think I still have the format somewhere. I always save all my receipts, right, and all my works. But here we're able to go into topics that I could not do. You know what I mean? But also, too, each platform requires a different energy. The way that you are on radio, which radio is more music format. Now, there is talk radio, right? But with radio, there's ad breaks, there's live reads, there's things of the business that you have to do. But with streaming, you can basically do whatever you want to do within that. When we talked about daytime talk and the creator economy, when we had that conversation, I said the 3 things that daytime TV is fighting against is accessibility, right? It is relatability, but it's also the creativity, right? Because we can go live anytime we want to. With daytime TV, you got to tune in, right? So people are looking for more accessibility. So accessibility, relatability, and creativity, right? So let's keep going. This is
Sunday.com. Dan used to walk from desk to desk, checking where things stood and who needed to approve what.
Up against criticism of the show, just from people who weren't even like fans of it that much. I never even gave a fuck about The Bachelor, but then I heard they've never had a Black or male or woman be, and then I was like, wait, why? I was like, for real? I was like, y'all have fucking what's his name? Jesse Palmer on there. Mm-hmm. I know Jesse Palmer from being like a
football player,
SEC football player in Florida. I was like, y'all can't put Charlie Ward on that bitch. You know what I mean? It's like you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm pretty sure Charlie Ward is married, but America will watch. America will watch like you tell me America wouldn't watch prior to the dog stuff. America wouldn't watch Michael Vick on The Bachelor. I think they will watch it. I think it would be interesting. Vic on there, or somebody that played for LSU. Put Rohan Davey on The Bachelor. Herb Tyler, right? I was like,
but why does it even have to be like a Black person like that? And that was also my issue too. I was told in my casting, well, we don't get people like you that come on the show.
Well, once again, this goes back to what I'm saying.
You didn't get people like Rachel or me or anybody else because you never create an environment where that can be acceptable to have as a culture, right? And there's this woman who's going to be the new Bachelorette. I think she's the first celebrity Bachelorette, if I'm not mistaken, from The Secret Life of Mormon. Wow, it's the first ever celebrity one. And so it's like, are y'all really about to do celebrity editions to keep people engaged? And are y'all really going to allow a everyday person to be able to date a celebrity? Because shout out to Will Packer in King's Court and Queen's Court, right? He's, started that energy, right? So yeah, it's, I believe maybe there might have been some other stars as well to be on The Bachelor and stuff like that. But still, Chris Harrison, to use his words, this show now, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, are more launching pads for influencers than for finding love. It's always been that way for many years recently. Here we go.
This goes back to the fact that when he was describing the reason why he couldn't do that, what he was really describing was a figure 4 leg lock that they had put themselves in from their version of the show that they had been making and how they had come to it. And then by the time they start having you on, having Matt James on, and then we get to the antebellum shit. Now we run.
Don't forget Taisha. Taisha Adams, don't forget her. She was the first Black and Latina, okay, first Black and Latina to be a bachelorette lead. Okay, we're still live. Okay. I'm just checking my phone, y'all, because sometimes this is also from Spotify, so I'm pausing it to make sure that we are really giving commentary. But I'm glad to be able to do this because, to me, if you're going to ever give an opinion on something of this magnitude, it's important to give the review from people who actually have been a part of this. So, of course, I was waiting to hear what Rachel Lindsay was going to say, but Van is giving it seems like Rachel's just saying the quiet part out loud, like, motherfucker, you really trying to make $1.15 to make this make sense? And Van's like, it's business. But Van is also evolving like, wait a minute, something the buttermilk ain't clean. Let's keep going.
George Floyd, people care, the shit's on Disney or whatever. Now they're in a buzzsaw. Nobody knows how to kind of get out of it. Now he's talking to you. He's not used to having these conversations. He fucks with the wrong one. He finds out. Now we're on Fox Nation. Here's the deal. It's like, I'm just being for real. In no way, by the way, what I'm saying is, this goes back to everything that, like, I'm talking about. It goes back to, like, you live in the house that you build. And so he probably wasn't, what he was saying was probably not true, but they did it. And then when they tried to undo it, they weren't prepared to deal with the diversity of thought, the extra added eyes. Because I look at the shit, when I was watching Matt James season.
So people keep asking us, where do you film your podcast? We shoot everything inside Riverside. I record our
and maybe I was wrong. Remember the thing when they had his dad on there? And I was like, God damn. Like, in front of these people, you
I was super critical.
I was like, but look, at the same time, they had done shit like that on The Bachelor before, and we had covered it on TMZ. Remember when Aaron Rodgers'
they had the empty chair at the table?
Oh man, the good old days of TMZ. We got out on that one. They went to it and it was the empty chair there. We had so much fun with the empty chair. That was ridiculous. We used to have fun, man. But like, but so just, all of this stuff. So I don't know. Do you wish? Okay, because you did do the thing where you said you're happy for him, and then you spent about 5 minutes kicking his back end. That was fun.
I just went down memory lane.
Dude, would you? How about this? Soupy soups. Everybody has a soup kitchen, particularly in this business. You make a lot of soup kitchens, like people that you used to work with, people that you had. And it's very hard for people. I understand you guys are listening. All your friends are the greatest people in the world. You hang out together, and you guys are all in recycled clothes and all of that stuff like that. But have you spoken to him?
No.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
2020. It happened 2021. Before he was fired.
What was your relationship, just to go back down memory lane, with him before that? Was it cordial?
I think we played the game of being cordial to each other.
It was never real to you, though.
I know he didn't like me.
Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute. I will say that it's surprising and not surprising. I only say that because when you are the host of something, right, it is up to you to make sure that you are investing quality energy for a quality experience, right? So while you may not like somebody, you also have to understand who that person is, what that person's about, and what they bring to the table. So the fact that Chris Harrison did like Rachel Lindsay, allegedly from Rachel's point of view, I would be interested in a Chris Harrison podcast of explaining his response to Rachel Lindsay, but also too to come out and talk about the show. And I really do believe it's going to be on Fox Nation. Like, that's the only streaming platform that would accept that type of language. Let's keep going.
Oh, have we ever discussed this?
I don't know, but I know he did not. And
El Negro?
my understanding is that I didn't respond to him in the way that I guess contestants before did. You know, like, we were cool, right? Like, I've always said he gave me great advice about not doing Dancing with the Stars if I wanted like a media personality career, because I would be tied, and I've always given credit to that. But that was like still when I was on the show, like we were talking about it, I was still filming. But I don't think I gave him the attention or, you know, as the host, like other contestants have done. Like, they really wanted to get cool with him and get to know him. And, you know, there were times when we were filming, they would bring him in to talk, and I would be like, I don't want to talk to him. Just flat out. I'd be like, I don't want to talk to him. What am I going to talk to him about? Like, what is he going to say to me? He doesn't understand me, like, or what my issue is. Apparently that's not how people responded. So I think that there was just kind of a, And then I was kind of viewed as a troublemaker because when I was done with the show, I would call the show out about certain things. And it was, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the world of hosting, right? Let's just say that I was the host of The Bachelor. I don't think they will ever make that happen, because if they did, ABC would really be putting the real in reality TV, because I'm a host that talks back, and to use the jingle of, the Goldfish Crackers, the snack that smiles back, Goldfish, the host that talks back, Braylon Lee. Yes, indeed. So whenever you're the host, right, there is like I said, there's a call sheet. Usually when the network approves it, they have to review the budget and know how many weeks you are filming the show, right? So then the host gets the weeks and where they're going to be, and they get to see contestants, this, that, and the third. Some hosts are more involved with the social media promotion. Of course, there's always the press tour, but usually the host really doesn't meet the contestants until the taping day, right? Now, some hosts, they show up for the date, they leave, elimination ceremony. But the best hosts are the ones that really take it seriously. So let's just say if I was the Bachelor, not the Bachelor myself being the Bachelor, but let's just say I was the host of the Bachelor and the Bachelorette. I would want to be in communication with the Bachelor and Bachelorette for the entirety of the show, including the aftercare of the show, because my job is to help them on their journey. So if I am not in communication with them, then how can we create content, right? That's just my point of view, but let's keep going.
Yeah, we actually, I never told you this, but we almost did a story at TMZ about you and Chris Harrison.
What time?
I think it was because we had people that were telling us stuff while you were on the show, and then maybe like right after. And
it was that we didn't get along.
Apparently you had told him to talk to the hand.
I did.
Because the face.
I didn't say that.
You had told him
say
what
that,
you had said to him.
It's not 2000 whatever.
You had told him what we got. The story that we got was he had said something to you. He said, "Good morning, Miss Lindsay," and you said, "Talk to the hand, because the face ain't having it."
I'm so glad you didn't run that.
And
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
I was nigga, I just made that up. See, we never had that story. See,
but there was something with a hand, which is why I thought that you said that. I thought that was true. It definitely wasn't talk to the hand.
Genius. You told him to talk to the hand.
No,
That's why
I didn't say talk to the hand.
We get to the bottom of this.
No, I didn't say I didn't say talk to the hand.
You pulled the black girl talk to the hand.
No. I didn't say talk to the hand. But what happened was they brought him in to talk to me, and I was pissed because this is when you did watch some of the show.
I did.
They brought a girlfriend. I loved that. There was a girlfriend of one of the guys who came on the show.
Okay.
And they bombarded me at the date. They pulled me to the side and they're like, "Hey, one of the guys had a girlfriend. She's gonna come talk to you." Wow. And I was livid because I was
it was some guy. I think they were like a basketball. I think they were a gymnasium. I think it was that person. I can't remember his name, but Usually all of that is worked out through casting. So when you go to abc.com/casting and you submit your name, your age, your phone number, this, that, and the third, you know, there's that process. Then you talk to producers. Then there's a social media audit. Then you talk to the executives, and then you get on the show potentially, right? So there's many different rounds of auditioning. And for the producers to know this information and then come to Rachel Lindsay to say that would be like if I was the Bachelor and they're like, hey, Bryce, so one of the people you like, they have an ex-boyfriend, and the ex-boyfriend's going to talk to you. Excuse me? The fuck they will. Child. Believe me, we're going to get to all of our other destinations. I just want to play this full response out. So here we go.
Like, all I could think about is my job and the perception. And I'm like, you gonna
trying to set you up to be the angry black lady.
Yeah, I was just like, what is this? So she comes and she talks to me. They don't tell me who the guy is. She comes, talks to me, then she tells me who it is, and I'm pissed. So I know if I go in the bathroom by myself, they can't follow you. If there's two people, then they can come in. So I'm like, I don't want to talk to any of y'all. Producer comes in, talks to me. They're like, Chris Harrison wants to talk to you. I was like, I don't want to talk to him. And so when I came out, I was like, I don't want to talk to you. Like that. I was like, I don't want to talk. And I just like walked past. And apparently that was like a disrespectful thing. I don't. Stop. I said I didn't want to talk.
Right.
I said I didn't want to talk. So I just think there was always this, you know, she's got an attitude. I'll never forget. I don't know if I said this. So everybody liked me until the live show when they made me watch it on camera for the first time.
What'd they make you watch?
They made me watch the finale on stage live in front of a live audience. And normally they give you the episodes before because they wanted my reaction. And I forgot that my number 2 guy told me, if you don't choose me.
I have 120 acres here.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. Do you mean to tell me that your number 2 basically said to you, if you don't choose me, then this is not going to work out for you because production wants you to choose me? They do say producers be doing a lot. Let's keep going.
Virginia, and I turned it into a whole homestead. One of the questions people...
You're going to live a mediocre life.
Oh, Jesus.
Mediocre life. And I forgot that. So I'm watching that. And after they come out of the showing it and they come to us and he's sitting next to me, the number 2 guy, he says this thing, whatever, he apologizes. And I say, well, just so you know, I'm not living a mediocre life. I'm living my best life. And they go to commercial. During commercial, Chris leans over to me and he's like, you need to relax. Like, it's not. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
Oh, no. See, Chris, host to host. Sir, let me come on the big screen. What you do not do as a host is you do not tell somebody how they should react to telling their story, right? And, you know, on talk shows, this is very prominent. The best host can escape and be in the experience for the full hour of, I'm going to let you tell your story. I'm going to be here as a tennis match partner, and we're going to have a good time. Not the fact of, okay, you're throwing the tennis balls at me. You're being a tennis ball machine, and I'm just swinging left and right, just trying to serve you questions so it looks like I'm doing something. Shall we go back to Jennifer Hudson? You were an extra on Dreamgirls? Back to Rachel Lindsay and Van Lathan. Oh
He's the one who said the mean thing. I just said, just so you know, you got it wrong. This is actually how I'm living. And it was like, and the producers ran over to me and they were just like, calm down. Like, don't say anything like that. And I was kind of like, what's the big deal? When I got off stage and it was over, I saw that everybody was like, she's a bitch, she's arrogant, she's angry, this is the real her, this is live. But they were all telling me, including him, you need to calm down.
Now, they were saying that because they felt like you went too far, or they were like, the audience is reading this wrong? It was live.
They knew that I was going to be looked at like she has an attitude. They knew the perception, the dynamic of me telling a white man, nah, just so you know, I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
And he was so adored by the audience. Like they were obsessed with him. And so they knew their audience. They knew how it was going to look.
Right.
He knew the audience, but
Right.
he's like, you need to calm down. I was like, for what?
Get out of here. Just talk to
the hand.
the face hand. All that. in the
I
bag
was
of
like,
chips.
I did not say that, but I definitely went like this.
I know. See, you told, but you did that to him. Look, here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you how this show is gonna start. Would you guys like a prediction?
Please
go for it.
Brian is going on the show.
Oh,
do you know I thought about that? I would be shocked.
You shady motherfucker. Brian is Rachel Lindsay's ex-husband. They got divorced. It was a messy thing. You shady motherfucker. Let's keep going.
Especially after me talking about this right here, right now, I wouldn't be shocked if they were like, let's use him on this show.
Brian going on this show.
For traditional love.
It
I got it wrong
love,
the first time.
MAGA show. You used to hide the fact that he was MAGA, but we
He's
can talk
not
about it
MAGA.
now.
He's not MAGA. I'm not going to do that. He's not MAGA. If I'm going to give him anything, I'm definitely not going to be accused of defamation. He's not MAGA. I'm definitely not going to be accused of that.
Allegedly.
He's not MAGA, and I'm not getting accused of that.
This is reminding me of First Take and Stephen A. Smith are like, the person with the sane mindset is like, okay, I'm dealing in facts. Stephen A., who is Van Lathan, listen, I'm saying it, I don't give a damn uck or ish because I'm the one getting paid.
Alleged.
Oh my God.
He is not MAGA.
Allegedly.
Don't do that.
Alleged.
Because we know how he rolled. He is not MAGA.
Alleged.
That's Van saying that on his own.
Alleged. But no, it was.
Rachel's using her training, motherfucker. You ain't gonna ruin the bags I got, so you can have an opinion that's not factual.
What's my first name? What's my name?
Van Lathan Jr.
No, my name is Alleged. Nigga.
Yeah, that's all you. I'm not.
My name's Alleged. My name is Alleged.
Alleged.
Because I do not know that to be true.
Edge it. Then my name.
If I knew that, I would say it.
Yeah.
Because then it wouldn't be defamation.
Right.
I do not know that. I don't know anything about him being MAGA.
Hey, man,
so I'm not
Alleged.
doing that. That's not true. I do not know him to be that.
What's the name of this podcast, y'all?
Keep going.
Name of this podcast.
Allegedly higher learning.
This is allegedly higher learning. Put that little thirst right now. I don't even sure the name of this bitch. All I know is what people say his name. Allegedly is what I'm saying.
I'm not doing that.
About to fucking have me in court, but have to have Lee
Yeah,
Maris.
you should just- But keep going with the
we gonna come in
show.
this bitch being crunk gonna be in this motherfucker. Like I'm he's like about to have me. Shout out Lee, shout out Ben. But like but you know, this could be a situation where this makes a lot of sense. This is synergy between Soup Kitchen and Brian. They could do this show together, and that bitch will go crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you if they did that. That bitch will go crazy. That will go crazy if they had him on here. It's interesting.
I think that this could be like there is an audience for this. I think people will absolutely watch it. I don't think this show won't be successful. Now, adding Brian to the equation does not make it more successful. Ain't nobody running to the TV to see him on television.
They might if they know the backstory. As far as
people
that's
will,
concerned.
but people will want to see. I don't know. That's a dating app. I don't know of a conservative dating show on television. So there's a market for it.
Yeah, it gotta be something.
And he is the person to lead it.
Right. All right. Before we get out of here, we have two different instances of race. Somebody give me a coin. Anybody got a coin?
Okay.
It's real quick. This is very quick. Give me a coin. We gonna play Ted McMillan.
All right.
Okay, so that's it, y'all. That's the whole thing. Shout out to Higher Learning, Van Lathan, Rachel Lindsay. That was a take, child. All right. Let's roll on because we do have more destinations, y'all. We do. Here we go. From blacknews.com. Here we go, everybody. So excited to bring y'all this destination here. 8-year-old black girl makes history as the youngest Grammy winner ever. Here we go. Singer Aura V made history at the 2026 Grammy Awards after winning Best Children's Music Album with her father, Fiyuch. At just 8 years old, she became the youngest individually named Grammy winner ever. The father-daughter duo earned the award for their album Harmony during the February 1st ceremony. The win marked a rare moment at the Grammys and placed Aura ahead of all previous record holders in the category. Backstage, Aura said working on the album with her dad felt fun and easy, according to E! Online. She shared that they got to spend time together. We get to go out to dinner. We get to go out to eat dinner, rather, and we get to chill. Fudage, whose real name is Harold Simmons II, says Aura enjoys the fun parts of making music. Aura quickly jumped in to add that food was also a part of what made the process enjoyable, drawing laughs from supporters. I love it when a kid can still be a kid, man, and them trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. That's a beautiful thing, to use some sports roots on my end. Aura also caught attention on the red carpet with her outfit choice. She said she picked a lavender dress because the color felt calming and helped her feel settled. She explained that brighter colors like red, would have blended into the carpet instead of helping her stand out. Go ahead! Yes! I'm here for it. With the win, Aura broke the record previously held by Blue Ivy Carr, who won a Grammy at the age of 9 in 2021 as a featured artist on the music video Brown Skin Girl. Aura now holds the title as the youngest solo named Grammy winner. During their acceptance speech, Fudage spoke on the importance of children's music in education and development. Children's music is more than a genre. He said it is an intention of art. It's an intention of artists who have dedicated our crafts to educating, entreating, and empowering. I felt like that should be enriching, but anyway, entreating and empowering the next generation, which is our highest calling. Aura lifted to the microphone by her dad, thanked the audience. She said, "I just want to say that an honor to be here, that I wasn't expecting us to go this far." Isn't it amazing that an 8-year-old has more dignity, respect, and reverence than Nicki Minaj, who never won a Grammy? Ain't that a damn shame? An 8-year-old has more of a capacity than the more famous version of Thirsty Toxicity. That is amazing. It's also amazing that children understand that whatever happens to them, be blessed for where you're at. But adults are so hungry just to have anything in life. I'm just saying the quiet part out loud. If this doesn't apply to you, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Okay. Good damn. So congratulations to her. Very, very well done. And nothing but success for these two right here. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. More Brainley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here, right now, child. I love our damn show. I really do. More news from blacknews.com right here. Here we go. Meet the woman behind the first Black Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day coming later this year. Let me zoom in for all Thirsty Toxicity supporters right there, because those Thirsty Toxicity supporters support the bullying people with disabilities, support the bullying of women, men, children, anybody else that doesn't support being rancid, decrepit, and dilapidated and how they move as an individual. And like I said before, if you got upload content that nobody would touch with a 10-foot pole to build up subscribers, you ain't doing shit. Because a content creator can find an inch and make it a mile and stand 10 toes down in being who they are, not being gassed up, lifted up, and to be able to try to move forward off of something that nobody wants to touch. because you do realize you can be guilty by association by supporting bullshit. But anyway, let's roll on. Meet the woman behind the first Black Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day coming later this year. Meet the woman behind the first Black, BLACK, Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day coming later this year. Here we go. So this is the woman here, stunning Black woman right here, phenomenally autistic. This year marks a historic first with the recognition of Black Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day to be observed annually on September 19th. The national observance is dedicated to highlighting the lived experiences, challenges, and contributions of Black autistic individuals while addressing longstanding inequities in diagnosis, access to care, and support. The day was established following the introduction of a congressional resolution emphasizing equity-focused awareness and acceptance. Oh, so DEI was a part of this. Good for that. Hashtag definitely earned it. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett Lee. Jasmine Lee, Miss Lee, if you're nasty. Moving on. The resolution was inspired by the advocacy work and lived experience of Ayanna Sanaa Davis, a Black autistic advocate whose voice has helped bring national attention to a frequently overlooked community. Addressing long-standing disparities, Black Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day was created to confront a well-documented reality. Black children are more likely to be diagnosed with autism later in life, misdiagnosed, or not diagnosed at all. These delays often result in reduced access to early intervention, educational accommodations, IEP plans, for example, and essential support services. In adulthood, Black autistic individuals frequently face compounded discrimination due to the intersectionality of race and disability. The observance moves beyond awareness online alone now. Well, there is online bullying, which I also forgot. Thirsty Toxicity supporters also support online bullying, in addition to physically bullying, targeting, and trying to tear down other people. I forgot to mention that. The observance moves beyond awareness alone, emphasizing acceptance, recognizing autistic individuals as whole, valuable people rather than problems to be solved. It encourages policymakers, educators, healthcare professionals, and communities to adopt more equitable and culturally responsive practices. About the founder, Ayanna Sanaa Davis' advocacy is rooted in lived experience. Like many Black autistic adults, she received her diagnosis later in life after years of being misunderstood and navigating systems that failed to recognize her neurodivergence. You know, I think Up in the Unicorn says that she was diagnosed later on in life. And I think I did a whole live talking about a Black autistic woman with a whole nail bar in nail school and a Black man who is autistic and in NASCAR, along with factual information behind autism about it and the magnitude of what it is. Shocking how information is publicly available for people. In the words of UNICEF, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. But then again, some people's brains then develop after the age of 26 years old, child. Listen, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply, okay? Instead of receiving support, her differences were often misinterpreted through bias and stereotype. Determined to change that narrative, Davis began speaking openly about the realities of being both Black and autistic through education, storytelling, and advocacy. She's worked to center Black autistic voices and challenge the gaps in representation and understanding that persist in autism conversations. Her advocacy resonated widely, reaching families, communities, and policymakers, ultimately inspiring the congressional resolution that established September 19th as Black Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day, a call to action. The recognition of this day represents more than a symbolic milestone. It serves as a call to action to improve early and accurate autism diagnosis for Black children, increase culturally competent healthcare and educational supports, address systematic bias affecting Black autistic individuals across the lifespan, and elevate Black autistic voices in policy, research, and advocacy spaces. For Davis, the observance is about creating a future where Black autistic individuals are seen, supported, and affirmed without having to mask or justify their existence. Looking ahead, as the first Black Autism Acceptance and Awareness Day approaches on September 19th, it stands as a testament to the power of advocacy grounded in truth and lived experience. What began as one woman's journey toward understanding herself has become a national moment of recognition and possibility. Ayanna Sanaa Davis is a U.S. House of Representatives, congresswoman, recognized change maker, and represented by Collective Speakers Bureau. Her work continues to shape national conversations around disability justice, racial equity, and neurodiversity. This inaugural observance honors the past, addresses the present, and lays the foundation for a more inclusive and equitable future for Black autistic individuals nationwide. For more information, follow Ayanna on Instagram at Phenomenally Autistic. Also visit her Linktree at Linktree/Phenomenally Autistic. And for press inquiries, you can contact Tiana Cohen at phenomenallyautistic@gmail.com or 347-541-6226. That's 347-541-6226. That's 347-541-6226. First of all, congratulations, absolutely. Very well done to this sister. I said nothing but light, love, and prayers to her. We need more people like this sister. And this is why I don't really worry about the thirsty toxicity of people, places, or platforms, because at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, God allowed free will, but also God made sure that he put in protections that everybody wasn't moving in hellish behavior. Just because the devil got kicked out of heaven doesn't mean that the angels ain't in charge, because bosses are temporary, operators are permanent. Okay? All right. Yes, indeed. So shout out to her. This is her link tree right here. And she does have a YouTube channel, Phenomenally Autistic there. Okay, I'm already subscribed. Awesome sauce. So here it is here. But congratulations to her. Absolutely incredible. So shout out to her. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. More Brainley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from the space right here and right now. Shout out to rollout.com. Celebrating 25 years of being a platform. On to the next 25 years here. IRS refunds facing serious delays after massive staff cuts. Let me read that two more times for y'all. IRS refunds face serious delays after massive staff cuts. IRS refunds face serious delays after massive staff cuts. Treasury Watchdog report reveals agency entered filing season understaffed with 2 million unresolved cases backlogged. 2 million unresolved cases backlogged. 2 million unresolved cases backlogged. Let's get into it. Taxpayers facing complications with their 2026 tax returns may experience longer wait times for assistance as the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, navigates a significant staffing crisis. A Treasurer Inspector General for Tax Administration report reveals the agency has lost approximately 19,000 employees over the past year, raising concerns about delayed funds and overwhelming customer service operations. The staffing reductions come as the IRS carries roughly 2 million unresolved cases, more than double pre-pandemic levels. While key filing season programs now at roughly 2021 staffing levels, tax experts warn that millions of Americans could face longer processing times and difficulty reaching IRS representatives when problems arise. So this also includes TurboTax, because if you haven't seen the commercials on YouTube, there are now TurboTax locations in real life. So maybe TurboTax is saying, hey, well, with these IRS people, maybe we can come in and help out with that as well. Massive workforce reduction hits critical operations. The January Watchdog report found that staffing in essential filing season programs has fallen back to levels last seen before the agency expanded hiring and customer service capabilities. Federal workforce reductions drove the employee departures, leaving the IRS short-handed and short-staffed as it entered one of its busiest periods. While the agency approved 2,200 new hires to help process original and amended tax returns this filing season, only about 50 workers, roughly 2%, have been onboarded as of late December. Training new employees typically requires 60 to 80 days, meaning many new hires will not be ready to assist during peak filing season. The shortage creates a challenging situation where fewer staff members must handle the same or larger workload. Erica Marani, a tax manager at Alpha Core Wealth Advisory, notes that there are simply fewer individuals covering what is likely a larger amount of work as the service navigates these historic shortages. What taxpayers can expect this season, the staffing crunch will most likely affect how returns are processed and how long it takes to receive help when issues arise. Rob Torres, lead financial expert at Clio, explains that the most immediate impact for taxpayers is longer wait times for IRS customer service, followed by slower processing for returns the agency considers complex, which can delay refunds. Returns requiring manual handling face the highest risk of delays. Paper filings, amended returns, and those flagged for identity verification or mismatched income information will likely experience longer processing times. The IRS has lowered its phone service target to nearly 70% rather, down from 85% during last filing season, reflecting the reality of reduced staff availability. In-person taxpayer assistance centers have reopened after last fall's government shutdown, but staffing shortages mean hours and availability can vary significantly by location. To keep operations running, the IRS has temporarily assigned employees from other departments, including human resources and information technology. Some of these workers don't have no direct tax experience, but will answer phones and assist with processing. Technology improvements still months away. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Wednesday the department is working to use artificial intelligence That's what we're doing. We're using AI. You know, AI does get stuff wrong, you know. So what if AI, you know, gives somebody more money than they need to, and then guess what? That means that they could be implicated for a crime. But if human beings were hired, then maybe there wouldn't be any problems. But we're utilizing AI. Okay, all right. Let's keep going, my Lord Jesus. The department is working to use artificial intelligence to improve customer service at the IRS and reduce pressure on call centers. IRS officials maintain that technology upgrades and automation will eventually help offset staffing losses. However, the Watchdog report cautions those systems will not be fully operational until after this filing season ends, meaning taxpayers are unlikely to see meaningful relief this year. The timing leaves millions of filers vulnerable to service disruptions during the current filing period. How to minimize delays and problems. Filing method and return accuracy may matter more than IRS staffing levels for many taxpayers. Chris Malone, a financial advisor at the Capstone Planning Group, notes that straightforward tax returns, especially electronically filed returns with direct deposit that do not get flagged for review, are typically less likely to experience service issues. Tax experts recommend several strategies to avoid delays. File electronically rather than by paper to speed processing. Number 2, choose direct deposit for faster refund delivery. Number 3, double check the W-2s, 1099s, and other income forms match what's reported on the return. Number 4, use IRS online tools, including Where's My Refund feature, before calling, as phone support may be harder to reach, rather. And number 5, work with a tax professional if your filing situation involves complexities. The IRS began accepting returns on January 26, 2026. Most taxpayers who file electronically with direct deposit can typically expect refunds within 10 to 21 days if their returns process without issues. However, those claiming the earned income tax credit or child tax credit generally have refunds delayed by about a month while IRS confirms the eligibility. Concerns carry over from previous year. The staff concern is not new. Last year, IRS employees were barred from taking a White House deferred resignation offer until after tax season over fears that losing workers during filing season could delay refunds. The current situation rather represents an escalation of those earlier woes or worries, with the actual loss of thousands of experienced employees. As of December, inventories of unprocessed returns to taxpayer correspondence have surged alongside the staffing reductions, creating a backlog that will take considerable time to resolve, even after new hires complete training and technology improvements come online later this year. Woo! Ooh, so what do I think about this destination? First of all, make sure that you file your taxes and everything. I still got mine. But also, too, this goes to show why we need to pay attention and give a care and investment of who we elect. Because if Kamala Harris was in office, no, this would be happening. People would have jobs. People will not be fired for how they look. Just keep it in the book. Y'all remember Doge and Elon Musk and what he did, destroying the government, this, that, and the third, and now we have these staffing issues, right? Child, speaking of staffing issues, let's talk about this. From Baller Alert, ICE recruits say promised $50,000 bonuses never came as 47 hiring push backfires. Let's get into it. This is blah blah poly girls say what? So political girl says what? New hires at ICE are blasting the agency for not delivering the huge bonuses they were promised when they signed up to expand 47's immigration enforcement ranks. In multiple red posts reviewed by the International Business Times, United Kingdom, federal immigration and customs enforcement agents complained that they had not yet seen their signing bonuses materialize. Others said that when their bonus finally arrived, it was only a few $1,000s after taxes. One agent said they were unable to cover medical costs for their sick child due to insurance coverage gap. We're praying for the sick child. We can give two fucks about you. Okay. The 47 administration pledged up to $50,000 in incentives for recruits willing to beef up so-called Homeland Defenders, a campaign that helped swell ICE's ranks. The Department of Homeland Security touted an incoming class of 12,000 new agents after receiving more than 220,000 applications, though the rapid growth has reportedly strained internal systems. One unnamed administration official previously described the hiring surge as a shit show inside ICE. Recruitment challenges are piling on at a moment when morale is already battered by controversy over aggressive federal enforcement operations. In Minneapolis, federal immigration agents have been at the center of national headlines after the fatal cowing of 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Preddy during a protest. The incident, part of a broader operation that also saw the deletion of Renee Good and other standoffs between agents and civilians, has sparked widespread criticism, protests, and a federal civil rights investigation. Beyond concerns about bonuses and public backlash over use of force, agents have also voiced frustration with long hours, high arrest quotas. How can there be high arrest quotas? Let me think about. Oh wait, you guys are doing it, and most of the people that you're arresting are legal U.S. citizens. Shocking concept. Underscoring deep dissatisfaction within the ranks at a time with the federal immigration apparatus faces intense scrutiny and operational pressure. That's what the fuck y'all get. Like this person said, the outcome they deserve. Fully agreed. And listen, it is what it is. Like, to do all of that, to not get a bonus, and then you're complaining about the work that you guys are doing. Guess what? He set out the work. So who should you be upset with? The president. But you're not going to. Now, with that being said, gotta talk about 47 because there's a lot going on with 47. Okay, so I cannot make this shit up. Oh my god, I cannot make this shit up. Y'all, look at this shit from CBS Austin. Okay. 47 marks Black History Month, reveals American icon statues for new National Guard. You can't make this shit up. President 47 marked Black History Month at the White House with an announcement celebrating American icons. Today, we pay tribute to the generations of Black legends, champions, warriors, and patriots who helped drive our country forward to greatness. And you really are great people. 47 told the crowded room at the White House Thursday. Was it crowded because people actually wanted to show up, or was it crowded because it's like, please, can you please come? We know he's a racist. We know he's a bigot. We know he's a sexist. We know he's causing hell, and we know that he really don't give a fuck about any of us. But could you please come, please, just to make the optics look good? Statues of Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, Coretta Scott King, Frederick Douglass, Jackie Robinson, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, and Kobe Bryant will go up at the National Garden of American Heroes. I'm only laughing at this because it's like, I'm just going to be like, wait, when did we give a fuck about black people? What? 47 describe the works of art. The works of art will be produced for the park as beautiful. The site for the park is yet to be determined. You know what's really interesting to me? This is being cared for, but yet you want to get rid of the African American Smithsonian and anything of the Smithsonian because you are afraid of history and plants and dinosaurs. It's between various states that want it very badly, said 47. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black American icons. And of course, Tiger Woods is there because for those of you who don't know, Tiger Woods is named Vanessa 47. Both of these men are cheaters. Both of these men have fucked over their careers, and both of these men know how to grab clubs that are of metal and swing balls hard. You can't make this shit up. Golf legend Tiger Woods made an appearance at the celebratory reception. 47 joked that statue of Woods would be saved for another time. I'm sorry. Wait, hang on. I just love myself. This is the first time he's ever said I'm sorry to a black person. Oh my God. Let's roll on. Let's roll on. Black political figures and activists who have been 47's vocal supporters joined the celebratory reception, according to a White House official, Republican Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina, who is allegedly gay. Listen, that is out there. I said allegedly, okay? Republican Representative John James of Michigan, Avera King, niece of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr., Herschel Walker, the football legend who is 47's choice as U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas, and prison reform advocate Alice Johnson, who he pardoned in 2020. Other invited guests include figures from sports and entertainment, included former ESPN host Sage Steele. I'm just like, he's inviting black women and black men to the White House. Not because he gives a fuck, but because of optics, ladies and gentlemen. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand the moves you're seeing in front of you. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. Former NFL player Jack Brewer and rap stars Kodak Black, Lil Boosie, and Rod Wave, according to the official, who was not authorized to speak publicly and spoke on the condition of anonymity. 47 also announced that he planned to bring Alice Johnson, a prison reform advocate, whom he pardoned in 2020, into his administration to work on clemency issues. The Associated Press contributed to this report. Now, I want to bring up this clip. Now, apparently he said this in 2019 before the pandemic. Shout out to Channel 4 News in the UK for this.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you just started.
You see his face? Let me play it again.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation.
You see this? You see this face? One more time. By the way, to the sister back here, you look gorgeous, but you should not be there, okay? Just keeping it a buck. All right, here we go.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation.
He's looking like, I gotta say this motherfucking ass bullshit. Otherwise, They're going to run with the fact that I'm a racist. Even though you tried to get 5 black men to be deleted with the death penalty for a crime they didn't commit. And you and your dad also made sure that other black and minorities could not get apartments. And also to the first winner of The Apprentice, one of the black winners of The Apprentice, he has some things to say too. But let's keep going, shall we? Okay, here's the full clip for it.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first.
Pause it. And you deserve a government that defends your interests.
Government that defends
protects
your interests,
families,
protects your
and cares for our own citizens first. Our own citizens. Y'all do recognize, hang on, wait, I'm frozen. Give me a moment. Come back to me, please. We're live. There we go. Hi, everybody. So when he says and cares about our own citizens first, he doesn't mean care about our own citizens as we should care for, all of us. That's coded. He means care for our citizens that agree with what we say, what we do, and how we move. Because he should have said, and to care for African Americans and every minority under the sun. Let's keep playing the clip.
Your families and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans. But
you're fighting, your administration is fighting with everyone. Jasmine Crockett said that ICE is slave patrol and you called her dumb. What the fuck is wrong with you? And your black counterpart, Stephen A. Smith, who's the black 47, he just don't have the power to do what the fuck you can do. And the black female version of you, thirsty toxicity. God. I just, the blessing and curse of social media is everybody got a microphone. But sometimes we lift the wrong people up to give a fuck about. Let's keep going.
But for African American communities all throughout our land, and our agenda is lifting up.
Go back. But for African American communities all throughout our land. So, everybody, but yet you're going into states with ICE removing black and brown people and people who don't agree with you. But you're doing work for African American communities all throughout our land. Okay.
All throughout our land. And our agenda is lifting up citizens of every background, race, religion, color, and creed.
He said race, color, and creed. You don't like DEI, sir? What? Y'all, I know we cover a lot more shit than most. Some people believe we cover dark stuff. But is it really dark stuff if it's in reality? Or does the dark stuff have to affect you for you to give a fuck about it? I'm just asking questions. Now, back to this. He said race, color, and creed. He said race, color, and creed. He said race, color, and creed. Huh?
But while we are fighting every day to build up our...
In the face race car is gorgeous, but like I said, sweetheart, you should not be there.
Nation, the far left only wants to wreck, ruin, and destroy our nation.
Not projecting about yourself, child. Yeah, that happened, but that's not the only thing that happened. That happened in 2019. Now, I played that clip because of this. From Variety.com, 47 shares AI video depicting Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. Yeah, this happened today. Newsom slams disgusting behavior by the president. The White House defends 47 posting of the clip, which came from a Lion King internet meme. That is the perfect face for that individual right there. The President 47 rather posted a racist video to his Truth Social account late Thursday with AI generated video of the Obamas as apes. The 62-second video rather shared at 11:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why in the hell is the president up? Should he be getting sleep? Oh, I forgot he's a lazy fuck that sleeps all day, eats burgers, and swallows Sean Hannity down his throat. Forgot that was his schedule. All right, moving on. And, well, I'm not even going to include Stephen A. Smith in that. I'm going to try to give you love, grace, and space. But, motherfucker, you going to fuck up your $100 million contract. Believe me, you. But the president shared this video at 11:44 p.m. Eastern by the U.S. president. Mostly runs through a conspiracy theory about the 2020 election, alleging that voting machines in certain battleground states were rigged to favor Joe Biden. The few final seconds of the segment, Barack and Michelle Obama are shown with their heads superimposed on 8 bodies, smiling and dancing in a jungle setting to The Lion Sleeps Tonight. For those of you who don't know, that's from The Lion King. As of Friday morning, the clip was still available on 47's account. I'm sure it's no longer there. In a response to a request for comment from Variety, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in an email statement, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President 47 as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public." You know, Caroline Leavitt, I would like to suggest that maybe, you answering questions of why the president was allegedly auctioning off young girls and judging their tightness and forcing those young girls into giving fellatio. Maybe that's something you could address at your White House press conference today. Give a fucking answer to that. Jesus. She just as bad as Sarah Trasher B. Sanders. Good Lord Jesus. Which, by the way, Sarah Trasher B. Sanders' daughter said to her, "One day, mommy, you could be pretty." The fact that a child said that about her own mother, the child knows that her mother's decrepit, dilapidated, and has a disgusting energy as a person. Moving on. The full AI video that the White House side was posted in October 2025, in addition to portraying the Obamas as apes, 47 is shown as a lion. Democrats featured in the video included Joe Biden as a baboon, Kamala Harris as a Torres Center minority leader, Chuck Schumer as a zebra, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries as a meerkat, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a donkey, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani as a hyena, Hillary Clinton as a warthog. The Taurus would be Mitch McConnell, sir. But moving on. The watermark on the Lion King video indicated that it was created an account called Exertus_X. That's the same account that made the AI generated video 47 shared in October 25 on Truth Social, showing 47 as a king in a fighter jet dropping a huge payload of fecal matter on No King protesters in New York City. Oh my God. California Governor Gavin Newsom's press office on Twitter called the video post discussion with the Obamas as a disgusting behavior by the president and called on every single Republican to denounce this. And there it is right there. So now, of course, there's an update on this. From Variety.com as well, 47 account deletes AI video showing Obama as apes, White House after defendant claimed staff member had erroneously posted the clip. Really? Really? When have y'all erroneously done anything? Y'all came out and said that the gold card that Nicki Minaj got was fake. That was the first time y'all were ever honest. I mean, this is the same president that does this type of behavior.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that.
He eat cat. And no, we're not talking about Melania because I don't think they do anything. Listen, you saw the thumbnail. You know my voice. And damn it, you know why you're here. Let's continue, damn it. Hell, no damn sense. What a first week of Black History Month, right? After a strong backlash over a racist video of the Obamas that was posted to the president's 47's account on Truth Social, the video has been deleted. A White House official told Variety that Stafford had erroneously made the post and that it has been taken down. The video showing Michelle and Barack Obama's heads superimposed on the thighs of apes dancing in the jungle, saying to the line "Sleeps Tonight" have been on 47's Truth Social page for nearly 12 hours. Now, you remember at the top of the show when we talked about Josh Tomorrow being the new CEO and the investment that Disney made into AI. Disney, this is why you need to stop. They are using The Lion Sleeps Tonight to allow racism. That connects to you, Disney. You should really give a fuck about your intellectual property, your fandom, and the movement of your company a lot more often. The video's deletion came just a few hours after White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had defended the 47 post as merely an internet meme. Leavitt had previously said this is from an internet meme video depicting President 47 as the king of the jungle and Democrats and characters from the Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public. So if somebody were to post a AI generated video, Caroline Leavitt being ball gagged and roped up in BDSM and said, "Let's cook this white turkey," so that would be a meme or no? Because that would be very disrespectful to do that. Moving on. The original video that the Obama animation came from, side by the White House, portrayed 47 as a lion. Barack and Michelle Obama were depicted as grinning, dancing apes. Other Democrats featured in the video included Joe Biden as a baboon, Kamala Harris as a tourist, Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer as a zebra, White House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries as a meerkat, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a donkey, New York City Mayor Zahan Mandani as a hyena, Hillary Clinton as a warthog. California Governor Gavin Newsom's press office on Twitter had called the video post with the Obamas as apes disgusting behavior by the president and called on every single Republican to denounce this. Senator Tim Scott, Republican of South Carolina, who's allegedly gay, by the way, who is the only Black GOP member of the Senate, wrote in a post on Twitter Friday morning, praying it was fake because it was the most racist thing I've ever seen out of this White House. The president to remove it. What? I know you fucking lie. Let me zoom in. Hang on now. Let's go back. This is the only Black GOP member of the Senate. Praying it was fake is the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. I'm going to read that one more time. Praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. So everything that the president's been doing against Black people haven't been racist at all, but this is the line that we're holding. This is the line that breaks the system. This is the line where, oh, motherfucker, now, give me, and wait, give me my finger, give me the fucking phone. This is the line that makes you want to give a fuck now. Okay, Tim Scott. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, you know you're going to have to go to your white master 47 to talk about this tweet that you did, right? You do realize that. Okay, roll it on. I can't believe that was tweeted. Let's roll on. Now we're going from this to R. Kelly. So trigger warning for everybody. We are going to watch the interview live. We're almost at a 3-hour show, but child, y'all saw the thumbnail. You know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. We cover everything else of the culture. And, I want to give Ricky credit because he said something that I do agree with, that he uses both of his channels as escapism. I do not have any problems with anybody utilizing their channel as a platform for escapism. I think those platforms are necessary, vital, and of the utmost importance. The only thing that I am suggesting is that we also make a sound for what needs to matter from time to time. Now, if that's moving in a dark stuff energy behavior, then I guess that must be me, child. Child, let's roll on. From NPR, National Public Radio, a Jane Doe in the R. Kelly trials is ready to share her real name and her story. Who's watching, Shorty? Reclaiming myself from the shame of R. Kelly's abuse. I'm Reshona Landfair, forward by Drew Dixon. Reshona Landfair, by the way, face card is stunning, beautiful. I'm loving the energy, yes indeed. Reshona Landfair met R. Kelly when she was a preteen in 1996. Starstruck along with the rest of her community, Landfair says she fell victim to his grooming tactics, followed by years of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse. When an infamous videotape of Kelly abusing Landfair became public, she described feeling isolated, subject to the whims of her abuser, and known only in the courts and to the world as Jane Doe. When asked how she felt after the tape surfaced publicly, Landfair told All Things Considered host Joanna Summers, "It was everything that I hear about prison. It was very traumatizing. It was very hurtful and lonely," Landfair added. The video was shown to the juries in 2 of Kelly's trials on child pornography charges, first in 2008, not H-child. 2008, which ended in his acquittal, and then again in 2022, which resulted in Kelly's conviction. Landfair's new memoir, Who's Watching, Shorty? Reclaiming Myself from the Shame of R. Kelly's Abuse, details her turbulent adolescence and escape from a long cycle of exploitation as she seeks to be a voice for other survivors. Listen to the full interview by clicking play on the blue box above. So I wanted to bring that to you. Shout out to NPR, All Things Considered. And thank God NPR is still around. And the Corporation of Public Broadcasters should still be around. Thank God Voice of America is still around. But sincerely, when you are so upset that you will get rid of Sesame Street but not give a fuck about the American people, you have fucked up as a president. Okay? So with that being said, let's watch this extended interview with this beautiful sister, Reshona Landfair, with Jerika Duncan from CBS Mornings.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Feel present.
Mm-hmm. When I think about the amount of time that has passed based on how long you knew R. Kelly, I think so many people have wanted to hear from you for so long. How does it feel to not be Jane Doe anymore?
It feels very rewarding. It feels very liberating, which was a part of the reason why I wanted to write this book, because I really wanted to live in my true skin, in my true self.
And your true self today is what?
My true self today is Reshona Landfair, not Jane Doe, not Sean. It's who I am as a person, who I am as a mother, a friend, a daughter, a colleague, etc.
You dedicate this book to your dad, your son, and you say your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would you say this book is for?
This book is for every person who has gone through some sort of trauma or some sort of uncomfortable moment in their life where they blamed themselves, were ashamed or embarrassed to live in their true skin and just really took the faults of other people and, kind of hid behind that. So it was just really freeing for me, and I wanted to share my experience with people who have been in similar situations.
You obviously talk in this book about how it started. You don't start at the moment people start talking about you or knowing anything about who you are and who you're associated with. But you describe at length how it started. You mention your aunt, the artist Sparkle, who used to work with R. Kelly. I want to read some of it from, I think it was page 18. You say in the book, the next time we're at the studio, this is what you say Sparkle said. You say your aunt told you the next time we're at the studio, you should ask Robert to be your godfather. Aunt Sparkle explained that I should sit on his lap and rub his head while I asked him to be my godfather. This instruction seemed sort of weird since I hadn't sat on his lap before, but I didn't question it. When you think back...
So I want to pause it there for a minute. I will be pausing it to give commentary for fair use. First of all, Sparkle has been known for a very long time, and from what I've always have heard, she's always been an advocate for that should not have happened to Reshona Landfair. Now, of course, Sparkle has responded. The Jasmine brand has that. I will bring that to you live at the end of this. But let's also recognize, too, that in this nation, we ask for people to be open, but yet we attack how they open up. Let me say that on the big screen. We ask for people to open up, but yet we attack when they open up. We ask for people to be open, but yet we attack when they open up. And so, while some people say, well, R. Kelly's and the R. Kelly supporters, because they're still R. Kelly supporters, child. Even though if it would have been their daughter, their mother, their wife, their grandma, their niece, their cousin, any woman that they know, they would be feeling away. But if you support that, I can only imagine what you give a fuck about your own. We got to recognize that pain takes time at its stages, and it goes through many different journeys. I'm not going to say metamorphosis because butterflies only live for a year. Lions outlive butterflies. Okay. So with that being said, we have to recognize that this woman is reclaiming her time because she's done the work. And we should respect the fact that she has the right to come out with her pain now. Because R. Kelly could cause all that pain and have a chance to be interviewed by Gayle King, Reshona Landfair also has the right to speak out too. Back to the video.
Is that where it all begins? Is that the start?
That is the start. That is the start of him entering into my life in a different way than just being an artist or hanging out at the studio. It became more personable at that moment.
Because you yourself were an artist. You were a part of a rap group. You had toured Europe. You'd been to Europe. And it was your aunt, you said, that introduced the family to R. Kelly because he's this successful artist from Chicago. At this time, he's really starting to blow up. He left the group that he was in. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting, exhilarating, fun to be around him. It's kind of how you describe it in the beginning. I mean, this is a big superstar and you have access to him like, hey, I want to hang out in the studio. Mm-hmm. And at the time, in the beginning, he's treating you like a normal, excited kid that wants to learn more about the business.
Correct.
So when do things turn? And I know you go into great detail, the early stages and why this is so complicated, your mindset at that time.
Well, during the time that I met him, I'm also a teenage girl who's going through puberty. And so some of the things that I was thinking or feeling were just normal expressions to, my maturity level at the time. And so it starts very innocent. It starts, being mesmerized and, like you said, like admiring this person. And then, it kind of gets a little deeper or more complicated when that person is able to, see what you can't see, the way you're developing, your conversation, your personality traits. So it kind of became more complicated when he started analyzing me and, the things that I was going through and who I was becoming as a person. And again, I was excited and mesmerized to, be under his wing and to be a part of his habitat. So that's how things kind of unfolded.
So we know that things progress beyond looking out for you as almost like a goddaughter, and it turns into something more than that. I want to go and stay with your Aunt Sparkle, who I've interviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first person to really sort of say, you need to go check over there. Something's not right.
Right.
I think there's something going on that should not be going on.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, you describe social services coming to your home to do a welfare check.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents are shocked. They think perhaps maybe she's just jealous because she's no longer associated with R. Kelly. And then obviously 2001, 2002, we're talking about the tape. But why don't you think anyone believed your Aunt Sparkle when she first raised a red flag about a possible inappropriate relationship?
I don't think they believed her because there were no obvious signs of what was actually taking place. It was more coming from her end, maybe looking like a motive from, like you said, not being around him. And those kind of questions or concerns didn't happen until she was no longer a part of, his camp or the things that were taking place. Her as an artist, that's when those questions started to raise.
Chapter 7, you call it stress fractures. And you say it was a couple of weeks before your 17th birthday. You say, Robert told me the copies of one of the sex tapes of 14-year-old me were beginning to be sold on the streets of Chicago and across the country. Your reaction to that when you think about hearing those words from R. Kelly, that this tape is out there and you were 14 years old?
First of all, that alone just goes to show, right, why people have the energy for Andrea Kelly and why she keeps his last name. That goes to the theory of where were the parents and they should be arrested and jailed and this, that, and the third, right? And to me, to say this to somebody weeks before their 17th birthday, that their innocence is being sold on the street. See, if R. Kelly was in Little Rock, Arkansas, with the people that I grew up with, they would have packed him up, as they say, as the people on the social media streets would say. Where is he? I don't want to hear it. Hey, we ride at dawn. Everybody know where the safe house is? Go to the safe house, gather supplies, Autobots, roll out. And this goes to show that we have a culture of rolling out and rolling up for who we care about, but not rolling up and coming through for people who may not necessarily be the most important to care about. And it's sad. Let's continue.
I was empty. I was very hollow inside. I was very confused. Didn't know what to expect. And I was embarrassed.
I want to read part of that in terms of just sort of what you were feeling at that time, because at some point, the remedy for this, according to, you refer to him as Robert in the book, is that he wants to tell your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Robert told me how he would tell my parents the truth about us. My mom and I were in one room and my dad and Robert were in another. You go on to say some other things, but eventually you get to this part.
Ooh.
After a while, Dad came storming out of the room, crying hysterically and cursing, saying to R. Kelly, "You're sick. I can't rock with you. I can't help you. You need to get help. He yelled at Robert, who followed us into the elevator and was on his knees crying. Man, I'm sorry. I just love her. So,
first of all, to the dad, I cannot imagine what that space mentally is like, to have somebody that you trust do this to your daughter. I'm sure that his first mind would have been, take her and go. I said fucking take her and go. It is me and you. And grab any damn thing you could and just and go the fuck to town. It's probably what he wanted to do. And I bet you if that were to happen, R. Kelly would have been in a coma enough for all this shit to stop. But then again, just because you're in a coma, just because you bloodied up, and just because you got glass in your body, don't mean you won't still do fucked up shit. Let's continue.
So the turning point from innocent goddaughter running around just trying to learn the music industry to something more like you're trying to make sense of why he's calling you and saying, you know, what are you wearing? This type of thing. To now you're confronted with something that's out there and he's saying the solution is just tell them. I know it looks crazy, but I believe you're my angel, as you refer to in the book. And your dad initially is upset. He's crying. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool...
Why wasn't that the moment when you look back where you were not allowed to see R. Kelly anymore, be around him? Take us to why it was so complicated for you and your family and what you said to your parents.
It was very complicated. My dad wanted to make the right decision and he was not okay with anything that took place. I was more under Robert's brainwash. I was more under his spell, and he utilized me against my parents, making threats of suicide and doing different things out of desperation to convince them to not turn on him. And because I had been groomed for so long to carry out this mission and also not want that girl on the videotape to be myself, I thought in my little mind that maybe that was the best approach. We felt more protected and had more resources and help through him than taking matters into our own hands with this celebrity and the industry and not wanting to be the people to end R. Kelly and deal with hatred and many things. So, I mean, I'm not here to sugarcoat any shortcomings of my parents or myself, but at the time, that's what made us feel the safest.
So I want to pause it here for a minute. Do y'all remember the Jonathan Majors trial and how Jonathan Majors threatened if his ex left him that he would commit suicide? And child, apparently Megan Good is still with Jonathan Majors. And Megan Good, nothing but love to you, but I don't get how you can sit in a courtroom and hear all of that and still make love to that piece of fuck. I don't get it. Because God forbid, my sister would never. Sisters would never. Any woman in my life would never. But God forbid I heard that shit. Hey, we need to roll up and make it do what it do. I'm going to be the media person and go on CBS and let them know. Listen, what happened to Jonathan Majors was a tragic accident. However, right is right, wrong is wrong, and when you do wrong by people, people will do wrong by you. And there is a thing as karma comes back around. And what of it? Let's continue. And like I said, to put that on a 14-year-old, that you will commit suicide for her to be a weapon for your pleasure. Continue. I can't.
You felt as though R. Kelly was holding all of the cards, had all of the power.
He did.
How did you make peace with your parents later? Because that's also something, I mean, even at the beginning of this interview, speaking of dedicating the book to him, and my condolences, because I know he passed away in 2021, but how were you able at this age to make peace with everything that's happened and your parents' involvement?
When you become a parent, you have a different way of thinking. But I also look at the other women and the other survivors and the other, people who, he dealt with, who lost total communication with their parents and their families, and literally lived everything that he made them think or everything that they made him feel.
Yeah.
So in a sense of why it might be presented to look a certain way, my parents actually saved me. They're the reason why I'm sitting here today. Because if it had not been for them, if I lost complete communication with them and I was literally living his dreams, his brain, his way of thinking, I don't know where I would be.
You would be a Joycelyn Savage. Decrepit, dilapidated, and just so fucking delayed as an individual. And Joycelyn Savage ain't gonna do shit to Braylon Lee. Just because you name Savage don't mean you execute Savage energy. That would be Megan Thee Stallion, who laid down Megan's Law. And a bitch named Nicki Minaj got upset about a law that protects children because she doesn't give a fuck about children because she protects PDF files. Moving on.
Mentally, physically, or emotionally.
When the trial started and the questions from federal investigators are coming, when you look back again, so much of this is people being able to try and understand it through your lens. You're living it. You're the only one with this story. Why not tell the truth in 2002 or 2008 when there was finally a trial after 6 years?
That's one of my biggest regrets, not telling the truth. But again, when I have been trained and groomed since I was age 13, I started believing the lies that I was telling. It was very foggy and unclear on what I really felt versus what was right or what was wrong. And even in moments where I despised Robert, I still lied for him.
When I look,
let me pause it here. For one, that was not your fault. Nobody should ever feel the blame of you not coming out, because the truth that you have that is your truth takes time to work through. And you are a human being that has the right to be as motherfucking private as you want to be. You deserve your anonymity, and you also deserve the dignity to breathe, to find out what peace means for you. So because you did not come out with the truth does not negate the fact that you were in pain. Let's continue.
Back at that trial, even this idea that people who were not part of the jury were able to see some of that video. And the jokes that came from the video, because we're talking about seeing a person at the time, not knowing who it is, for sure, being urinated on and talked about. Do you look at even the justice system as not protecting you to some extent? I mean, thinking about that video being played before a gallery of everyday citizens?
I definitely think things could have been handled differently. I'm happy I wasn't there to witness everyone watching that, you know, to the world imagery, I was not made to be a victim. I was a mockery. And that was very difficult to digest. It was very disheartening to know that my body was just being displayed and tossed around. And, you know, when I look back on it, I wish things could have been done differently, but those are all of the things that I had to internalize.
How were you able to sit through the trial in the parking lot? Because I think to know that you were so close to the trial that could have put R. Kelly away back then, and listen to his instruction. Don't watch television. Don't read the paper. I mean, this wasn't the same, you know, social media wasn't a thing in 2008 the way that it is now.
Correct.
But take us back to, and I know you're going to get a lot of these types of questions because most of this book is based on the past and how you've been able to come out of it. But take us back to what it was like being in a van and knowing that just a few hundred feet away, his life was on the line.
That was very scary. I didn't understand why he wanted me there, why he made those choices, but I just went with the program. It was very difficult because I would also be paranoid, like, what if somebody raids the bus, or what if, you know, the wrong person walks on here? But I don't know if he did it for comfort, of not wanting, you know, of being afraid of me just having the freedom to just walk out if I wanted to. But he kept me very close in that way.
What was your reaction to that 2008 not guilty verdict? You talk about it in the book, but tell us how you were really feeling at that time.
I felt happy for him. I didn't want to see his career end. I didn't want to see him taken from his family. I thought things were going to change for him, for us. I thought things would just get a lot better. I thought this was our freedom to just be family and to, you know, all of the different traumas and me having to hide and disguise myself and be lonely and away from my family. I thought that was closure to all of the negative things that he kind of made me feel like had to happen during this case that lasted for so many years.
And at this point too, you're in your 20s.
Right.
So you're thinking, yeah, this stuff happened, but you know, this is our chance to reset.
Right.
But what actually happened?
Things got worse. And then I started realizing that I had been used and utilized for a purpose, that I was a placeholder, that I was here to make sure Robert didn't go to jail. Not because he loved me, not because he was my protector, or because I was his angel. My purpose was done. He was finished.
Whew. To hear that the not guilty verdict was a pass for freedom, for a second chance, I do not blame her for that, because when you are in that environment, like I always say, if you understand the moves that are happening around you, you understand what you're seeing in front of you. But when you are in it, you're not able to see anything around you because your peripheral is blocked. It's almost like you being in a sound stage and the environment has been created, and this is your environment. This is how you're going to move, and there's no other perspective to have. But when you walk out the sound stage, you're like, oh, there's trees. Oh, there's cars. Oh, there's a gate to leave. Let's continue.
And you talk about moving out and starting your own, going on vacation, really getting a taste of what it is to be independent. But even though you left R. Kelly, you left the home, you never quite left his orbit. Explain.
That was definitely me operating out of cognitive dissonance. It was more so like I knew things were wrong. I knew everything that I went through, but this is all I've known for the majority of my life. This is the behavior. that was my normal and that I felt like was okay. So I was kind of afraid to operate outside of him. I didn't know what to do. I had to literally learn myself from a 12-year-old girl up into who I was to today.
Yeah. And that was hard to
It was very
completely let
difficult.
go. January 3rd, 2019, Surviving R. Kelly airs. Did you see all 6? It's a 6-part series. Did you see all of it?
I
or
don't
just some
I
of
don't
it?
know if I saw all of it, but I saw enough.
And you thought then?
That was the spirit of conviction came over me during that moment.
Because of that documentary, that docuseries.
Yes.
And when you say the spirit of conviction, what do you mean by that?
Somehow I felt responsible that he was able to hurt so many more people.
Oh. No.
During the
No. That he was a grown ass man that did what the fuck he did. Just like Milagro Grams was a grown woman who did what the fuck she did. Because apparently, thank God it wasn't no underage people with Milagro Grams, but basically she's the adult, the female version rather, of R. Kelly and P. Diddy. Yeah, look up the Camp Mob lawsuit. We covered it here. Milagro was grown and R. Kelly was grown for what they did. You were damaged in that, but that does not mean that you caused all that hell to those women. Joycelyn Savage is choosing to be a see you next Tuesday, his concubine, and his his garbage dump for him to be able to be entertained. That's not on you. Let's continue.
The time I thought maybe these were just sexual fetishes that he had with me. Maybe this was just abuse I was going through. But when I saw that his behavior had gotten so much worse, and he was allowed to hurt so many people because I lied, that did not sit well with me as an adult, as a woman.
Is that the moment you decided you were going to cooperate with federal investigators?
Yes. It was in that moment. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It was a breaking point for me, for sure.
I really want people to understand your perspective about how difficult this was and the psychological factor, because, you know, you put it out there in the book because you want people to understand it. It's almost like you're talking to the reader at times when you say, now listen, I know you might think this, or even the way you protect.
I want to take out garbage dump for Joycelyn Savage. It was not your fault that she was a chaotic waste of shit that R. Kelly's entertaining. That was not your fault. Let's continue.
Did folks in the book. You don't really go in about things you clearly know. It's almost like you are saying, I want to stick to my story and I don't want to make judgment on other people for their decisions.
That is right.
But you talk about this conflict of a back and forth, even with the text messages that the defense showed in court to say, well, wait a minute. They were texting like, hey, how's it going? Are you good? I'll call my mom. You know, she recently lost her mom. And, you know, they're trying to create this image that you're fine. For people that don't understand what that's like to be you and in that position, help folks understand this, you know, you say the cognitive dissonance, but also this back and forth dance of trying to tell yourself, I'm good, I'm fine. Yeah. That's why we're cool. Almost like you almost have to have that power too to say, you don't have power over me because see, look, we're good. You can text me and I'll text you back.
That is very true. And what I will say about that is not everything about Robert was terrible. even though it was that way most of the time. Not everything about him. This was a person that I did feel like I loved and I grew into loving, and he was family in some areas. Not everything about him was terrible. The moments were, though, very frequently, but it was just a battle of me convincing myself, like, I made it out.
Right.
I'm good now. I can be cool with him. I can see him with other women. I tried to maintain whatever friendship. I still loved his children. And, you know, honestly, I cared about his well-being, even outside of just, you know, like everything that was happening. So it was a battle internally for me to fully, you know, let go of somebody that I had been groomed into fully being dependent upon.
Right.
In March of that same year, so shortly after the R. Kelly docuseries comes out on Lifetime, Gayle King sat down with him and the two women that he was in a relationship with at the time. Did you happen to see
Israel Clary and Joycelyn Savage? Israel Clary got out. Joycelyn Savage is savagely being a fucking idiot with R. Kelly. And for anybody to say, Braylon, you're going too far, you're doing this, that, and the third. No, Joycelyn is grown at this point. After all this shit, and almost allegedly having a fucking child with this waste of shit of R. Kelly. And I wish the baby nothing. And they said that she's not pregnant, so thank God for that. But the baby's in heaven with God and the angels on the team and everything in between. But just no. We got to bring back shame. We got to bring back guilt. We got to bring back calling things out as they need to be. Because do you see what happens when we don't? We have a fucking piece of shit of a maniac and administration and supporters allowing this country to go to hell. Because people got fed up with that the country didn't look like them. So maybe if I let somebody with my mindset, maybe I'll get what I want. But the gag is, he's erasing you too. Let's continue.
that?
I did.
When you saw him react in the way that he did about this, you're trying to take my life. And, you know, I thought about playing that for you, but I don't even want you to have to see him because I think it's not necessary. But when you saw that version of him, as you talk about, it wasn't like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But did you feel for him, or did you think he's going down and he's scared?
Well, first I thought it was very Broadway of him to act like that. That was very normal for him to have that type of response. And when I heard those girls speak, I knew exactly who was talking through them. Mm-hmm. I knew exactly what mission they had, the convincing, the firmness, everything that I had been trained and groomed to do. I read right in between that. And in that moment, I did not feel sorry for him at all. I felt like, you still don't get it. You're still convincing yourself of all the lies that you are, bleeding into everyone else. And I knew exactly what took place was getting ready to happen. And he was very scared. He knew it too.
As you sit here today, do you feel like you are completely healed?
No, I'm a work in progress. I have a long road ahead of me, but I can look back and I know exactly where I come from. And I can see the stars now.
I wanted you to, if you would,
what a word,
read something that I think would be best if we heard it from you. And this is the grace note.
Mm-hmm.
I highlighted this section because, I'm not going to make you read all 3 or 4 pages.
Okay.
But I think it would be important to hear this in your own words.
Yes. That's fine.
And the last part.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dear beautiful soul, it's you. It's always been you. You were the girl with saucers for eyes, and the world was a buffet spread out in front of you. You were the girl who spit rhymes and played basketball with all you had, You loved your parents and especially your baby brother. You loved going to church. You were a friend. Reshona Landfair. Don't believe yourself not to be good enough. There is no yardstick for good enough. You were a girl, perfectly imperfect human being. You could not have lived your life in reverse. There was no way for you to know what you know now. So if you don't remember anything else, remember that children don't protect themselves from danger. Let go and let God. No one else holds power over your mind, body, or spirit. It's taken a while for you to arrive at the sure footing of this knowledge, but it's a good place to be. This is your moment. It's good to be you. God willing, you have more living and loving and growing to do. Go live in your truth and walk in your light. Embrace this next chapter in your journey with anticipation that God will plant new dreams in the fertile soil of your heart. Love you times infinity, Reshona.
Ooh. How proud are you of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've come a long way. A lot of cold nights. But I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what she said there at the end is, but I am here today. And that is really at the core of her book. She's now a mother of a 5-year-old son. We did reach out to her aunt, Sparkle, who said she is relieved that Reshona is in her healing journey. Sparkle also said this: any suggestion that I groomed, facilitated, or enabled harm to my niece is untrue and deeply painful. As for R. Kelly, who is currently serving sentences for 2 federal convictions, an attorney representing him told us they could not comment on specific allegations in the book without reading it. The attorney added that Kelly wishes Reshona success and peace at all levels.
At Raising Cane's, we hand out.
Oh. You know, I said a statement a while back. Sometimes you have to go through the cold to appreciate the warmth. I'm gonna just say this to Reshona Landfair. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your child. You got me crying up here. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your integrity. Thank you for carrying your weight. I know it was not easy to do that interview. Drika Duncan, you are a gem that CBS does not fucking deserve. I mean that shit. I really do. To your 5-year-old son, nothing but love, light, and prayers to him. He is going to grow up to be a great king because he's got a queen as a mother. To your parents and to your friends, thank y'all for being that village for her. And like I said to Reshona Landfair, you are beyond stunning. You have done something that a lot of people have not been able to do, is to be above the ground, to not only make change on the ground, but for the ground that you stand on to mean something. There's a song that says, you know, I can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road was going to be easy, but God did not bring me this far to leave me. That is from Mary. And I believe for you and for your world, what is to come is better than what's been. In Jesus' name, yes. Amen. Y'all can get that new book, Who's Watching Troy by Reshona Landfair. Hopefully it will be out soon for sale. And please go get it. And this is why I do this show. You know, I know that I know what you're thinking. Like, we went from Josh to Maro and ended it on R. Kelly in the same show. That's what life is. Some of us you know, are one-trick ponies, one-dimensional, and very tunnel vision to be ignorant, stupid, and lackadaisical, and not recognizing the world around us. But there's a difference between that and utilizing your platform for escapism, but also recognizing that there's a world outside. There's a difference between those two lanes. But I look at every tour that we have ever done as a beautiful piece of art, that you're able to go from the world of Disney parks to a heavy conversation about SA and children and rights, and to know that you can care about all these things and still be a human being. Some people, their brains didn't develop up to the age of 26, and just because you are older doesn't mean that the wisdom is all there. Doesn't apply let it fly, but if you let it fly, it must apply. Now, I did say that Sparkle had a response. Let me bring that to you right now from the Jasmine brand. I'm relieved that Reshonda is finally free to speak her truth and begin her healing journey. In addition to justice, I've always wanted healing and peace for her. I do need to be clear about one thing. Any suggestion that I groomed, facilitated, or enabled harm to my niece is untrue and deeply painful, especially given my documented actions at the time and throughout. When I was informed her parents were allowing Reshonda to spend unchaperoned time with R. Kelly, I immediately contacted DCFS, Department of Child and Family Services. When the tape surfaced and the state brought charges against him in 2008, I fully cooperated and testified under oath, despite immense pressure not to. I did this because protecting my niece from abuse and telling the truth mattered more to me than money and my career. This is the beginning of Reshonda's lengthy deprogramming journey. It is true that she is a survivor of years of abuse, still learning to process what happened to her and who is responsible. It is also true and well documented that I stood up for her to try and stop the damage being done to her and countless others. I wish her continued healing and peace as she continues to not only find her voice, but hopefully require accountability from those closest to her. And that is from Sparkle, the aunt of Reshona Landfair, her niece. What a show this morning, this afternoon. As y'all know, we always end it with a positive news story. I think that this is going to bring us some joy here from the Jasmine brand. Layla Edwards to become the first Black woman to compete for the United States Olympic women's hockey team. Let me read that two more times for you there. Layla Edwards becomes the first Black woman to compete for the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team. Layla Edwards becomes the first Black woman to compete for the United States Olympic women's hockey team. Right here, Layla Edwards is set to make her Olympic debut with the U.S. women's hockey team at the 2026 Winter Games in Milan, darling, Milan. Shout out to Etna Mode. By the way, that opening ceremony is tonight at 8/7 Central on NBC and streaming live on Peacock. Marking a historic moment for the sport. At 22 years old, Edwards will become the first Black woman to represent the United States in Olympic ice hockey, breaking nearly 3 decades of barriers since women's hockey was introduced to the Olympics. Speaking on the historic accomplishment, she said, "I'm extremely, extremely grateful and can't put it into words. I felt overwhelmed. I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's a positive, but how do you turn this into something that is consistently positive?" Edwards' rise to the Olympic stage follows a standout career with Team USA and at the University of Wisconsin, including being named the most valuable player of the 2024 World Championships and earning gold at the 2025 Worlds. So this is what the fuck she does. Do you hear me? The Jasmine Brand crew, be sure to support Edwards and her team this Winter Olympics. The games are set to start tonight at 8/7 Central. The opening ceremony on NBC and Peacock. The Olympics will start. The Winter Olympics, the Winter Olympics, if I can speak, will start tonight, Friday, February 6th, and conclude on February 22nd. Full schedules are available throughout official broadcast partners like NBC, Peacock, and the Olympics website. Now, I think that for the last Olympics, you can go to AMC theaters and watch the Olympics. I want to answer this question here. How do you turn this into something consistently positive? Whatever platform you believe can be amplified, use your plug of who you are to amplify it. You ain't got to have all the answers in the world, but the best way to be the best for the culture is to do the thing that got you to where you are, beautiful. All right, y'all, that's the show. That's all I got for y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Replay gang. One love, much love, all love to you. Y'all have a great weekend. Like I said, Super Bowl is this weekend. Go Seahawks. Okay, go Seahawks, go Seahawks. Okay, I'm rooting for the Seahawks. By the way, that deal at Outback Steakhouse, you know what? I'll show it to y'all since this is the after show at this point. Right here, I'll show this here. Just in case, right here. So here it is, 60 wings for $60. Okay, so they have the original Kookaburra wings, Buffalo Ranch Kookaburra wings, and sweet barbecue Kookaburra wings. So you can pre-order today and pick it up for pickup or delivery. Wait, what? They do Outback delivery too. Hang on a second. I might have to. Okay, I gotta talk to my dad. But Kookaburra wings, chicken wings tossed in our secret spices, served with our blue cheese dressing of celery. Choose mild, medium, or hot. The new Buffalo Ranch Kookaburra wings. Our new Buffalo Ranch wings start with a signature Aussie spice blend dipped in our tangy buffalo sauce with a Cool Ranch drizzle. And then right here, the new, and both of these are new, the Buffalo Ranch Kookaburra wings and the new sweet barbecue Kookaburra wings. Our chefs have crafted some fresh flavors, like our new sweet barbecue Kookaburra wings, dusted in our top secret Aussie blend spice, and then tossed in our house-made sweet barbecue glaze. I'm sure you can ask that on the side. So like I said, 60 wings for $60. 60 wings for $60. 60 wings for $60. That's $1 a wing. Okay, they've been doing this for a couple of years now. When I called my local Outback, they said a lot of people didn't know about it. So we always make sure we take care of each other over here. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love. And send it right back to you. Bye, everybody. I'll see you guys a little bit later on tonight for some tour. Don't know what it's going to be. The day will be the day, and I will see you soon. Love y'all. And by the way, Reshona Landfair Lee, Reshona Lee, Miss Lee, if you're nasty, doesn't sound like a bad name to me. If I was married to that queen, I would be extremely honored. I hope she finds everything that she deserves and then more for a 5-year-old son too. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's
Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child Redman over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn